How's it going, folks? Welcome to another fun at-home table read. Tonight, we're actually jumping into, I think, one of, if not my favorite Saturday Night Live movie. Maybe I'd have to do the math to see if that's an accurate statement, but I have a soft spot for this movie. Not a lot of people like it, but I enjoy it, so we're going to do a reading for it tonight. I'm really excited to kind of see what we do with this one, so let's just get into introducing ourselves.
I am Jen. I'm going to be action description.
I'm Logan. I'm going to be Beldar.
Hi, I'm Anne. I'm going to be Prymaat.
Hello, I'm George, and I'll be Seedling.
I'm Angie, and I'm Connie.
Hi, I'm Travis. My refrigerator is running, and I'm going to be playing Ronnie.
Why, Travis? What did that? Anyway, all right. Well, Jen, on that weird-ass note from Travis, take us away.
Coneheads by Tom Davis, Dan Aykroyd, and Bonnie Turner and Terry Turner. Open on a void. The screen is completely black. The sound of a radar blip fades up. Slowly, the camera pulls back out of the void, light filtering in to reveal that we are emerging from the center hole of a conical-shaped pepper shaker. The sound of radar blips gradually merge with the buzz of a crowd during a quiet stretch of a baseball inning. A lazy commentary drones through the pitch count as the continuous shot reveals a plate of half-eaten food on a radar tracking console and moves across the back of a technician whose headset is at rest on his neck. Now we are Interior U.S. Air Force Control Tower night. The drone of the baseball game on his little TV, and his meal has the technician almost asleep. Shot moves across to the micro TV. The count is full, the pitcher winds up, and the batter squares away and braces for the pitch. Closer into screen, the batter swings. Extreme close-up, bat connects perfectly with ball. Sound effects, explosive crack. Exterior baseball stadium, section of crowd night. All heads look up. Runner's legs as he drops the bat, heading to first. Section of crowd rises. Exterior sky night, velvet black with brilliant star field beyond. The baseball enters in slow motion, peaking at its apex, spinning and arcing downward out of shot. And
It's out of here!
Yeah! Hold on the night sky starfield. Something disturbs the fabric. A tiny glow, slightly reddish, like a heat flare from an object entering the Earth's upper atmosphere. Interior Air Force Control Tower night. Close on the technician, now attentive to the TV.
A massive hit over the left center field bleachers for Lupo Domingo. His 21st home run of the season, and the Cubs take the lead 2-1.
Camera moves past technician into radar screen. Extreme close-up. It is in normal circular undulation. Now a little dot faintly begins to grow. The blips change to warning pings, which increase in volume, fighting the noise of the crowd on the TV. Technician turns to the radar. Alarmed, he slides his chair closer to the console to put his headphones on, adjusts switches on the panel. A yellow phone rings.
Roger, TechCom. You got it, too?
A captain comes up behind him.
What is it?
I don't know, Captain, but SAT signals have it at 500 miles up inbound really fast.
Off their concerned expressions, cut to exterior military bunker complex night. A large radar dish in motion. Stock. Exterior mountaintop night. Another radar dish. Also stock. I'm going to stop saying stock now. Exterior desertscape night. An array of huge multiple dishes. These cuts are accompanied by multiple overlapping filtered chatter. We have a confirmed inbound bogey at Angels 11,000. Cleaning Mach 6. Alert 210th fighter intercept. Scramble and pursue undeclared intruder. Scramble and pursue headings. Exterior tarmac night. As two F-16s take off from an airstrip. Interior F-16 cockpit night. Close on the pilot.
Pursuit, verifying your turn left to his heading 260 degrees south-southwest.
Roger, we have visual contact. Man, is he moving. Rolling tape.
Close-up infravision TV screen. Pilot's hand activates it. It depicts high contrast, black and white night camera images of the bright ball of light they are chasing.
Unidentified flight, you are violating a restricted air corridor. Please squawk 153.89 and identify yourself immediately.
Cut 2, interior alien craft, speaker on console, night. A massive advanced-looking glowing lights, switches, and indecipherable glyphs.
Please slow down to Mach 1. Repeat, slow down. Descend to 3,000 feet and identify your vessel or we will force you down.
Interior F-16 cockpit night.
Command, this is Werewolf Leader. Undeclared, not responding, and I'm losing him fast. Suggest A&G base at Franklin attempt intercept.
Interior a different cockpit. Illinois Guard F-16 night. This is Franklin A&G. Okay, I got a lock on. Request permission to fire. Wow. Look at that thing. Interior alien craft console night.
Pursuit leader, you are authorized to fire at your discretion.
A female hand gestures to the speaker.
Laarta at flare now.
Close up alien mouth. Tips of yellow, sharp, pointy, jagged teeth are visible through a thin set of purplish lips.
Not. The Earthman's weapons are useless against our...
Massive explosion. A lot of lights go out. Close up male and female aliens' faces.
Ah! Nibs!
Maps! Maps!
The aliens' feet shuffling in panic, hitting floor pedals in desperate moves to control the craft. Aliens' faces. There are warning alarm buzzers and panel blinkers, short arcs, sparks dropping on them, wind rushing, and an awful moan from their dying power source. The male is Beldar, and the female is Prymaat.
Not entirely useless, Beldar.
If you had read the coordinate indicates from the star chart correctly.
I told you to turn right at Pyramids. You should have activated the masking veil.
She pushes a switch on the panel. A low tone is emitted like radar blips in reverse.
Prepare for emergency egress. Bring the Farthnight crystal, protoid rations, and my speech disc with the conquest structure. I have lost control of the craft.
Interior F-16 cockpit night. The night vision TV screen is now blank. He disappeared. He just disappeared.
Roger, he's off our scan. We've lost him too.
Exterior F-16 night. It flies away from camera. Exterior Lake Michigan surface night. A darkened alien craft. A damaged, conical-shaped, multi-splined, metallic star cruiser plunges into the lake, hold as the vessel hisses, bubbles, and slides under the water, with the lights of Chicago in the background. A conical shipping buoy. Night. It bobs in the black water, lonely bell clanging. Then tips first. 2 glistening cones appear from below the surface and emerge fully into the moonlight. Now there are 3 cones in the water. The buoy, Beldar, and Prymaat. They are Coneheads. Cut to interior truck night. A trucker drives along through the rain, listening to country music. He is bleary-eyed and tired. Exterior highway night. His POV, the road ahead. The interstate highway in the black of night. Suddenly there is movement on the right of frame, and he sees 2 soaking wet Coneheads shuffle across the highway through his headlights and disappear over the guardrail into the weeds. Interior truck night. The driver. Almost without missing a beat from his glazed look, he shakes his head, takes a deep breath, rolls down his window for some air. Exterior, lonely, rundown motel night. Camera cranes down through the pouring rain from broken neon vacancy sign to reveal Beldar and Prymaat, who shuffle towards us and stop to consider this with their intense alien gazes. This is the first really good look we get at these beings in their flight suits. Interior motel desk night. A grimy, uncaring clerk is asleep behind the desk with a small television glowing on the counter. There is a bell on the desk. Beldar enters without waking the guy. Prymaat waits outside, peering in through the rainy window. Beldar sees the clerk's bell on the counter. He studies it closely, figures out what it is, and then hits it really hard. The guy wakes up. Clerk's POV, Beldar, dripping wet, looking at him from the other side of the desk. He shakes his head, rubs the sleep from his eyes, and approaches the counter.
I'll be right with you. Need a room?
Correct.
The clerk pushes the registration form across the counter.
All right, fill this out.
He glances past Beldar and sees another cone move around outside the window. It is Prymaat, curiously appraising the vending machines along the wall.
Double occupancy.
Correct. That is my chosen mate.
Yeah, right. I'm sure she is. Will that be cash or charge?
Exterior motel vending machines night. Prymaat tips her cone at the machines. An electrical blue arc jumps from her cone top to the push buttons of a machine, and it spews cans of soft drinks and a shower of coins. Interior motel room night. Beldar. Close.
Greetings, people of Earth. I am Beldar, the reviewing depot underlord of your miserable planet.
Widened to reveal he is sitting on the end of the bed, looking into the mirror.
I come from a great race of beings
I'm not
far
sure
more
I
advanced
understand.
than your puny humans. Then your weapons are... No, but your world leaders must... United Nations times... Nibs! Nibs, I can't believe you lost the speech disc.
Prymaat is shaking rapidly. Next to her is a control box with coin slot that says magic fingers, vibrating bed.
Maps, you said you were going to retrieve it from the accessory compartment. The truth must be faced, Beldar. You will never give the speech. We are scuppered. Completely scuppered.
No, do not relinquish so easily, female. Never forget, we are cones. Superior to these measly Valerians, or blunt skulls.
Beldar reaches over to the dresser and sorts through the objects on it. A corkscrew, ice bucket, glasses in wrappers, and a couple of bars of motel soap. He tilts his head appraisingly and then munches the soap down. Prymaat reads the Gideon Bible. Laughing, she turns a page and laughs even more. Turning another page, suddenly shocked at what she reads, then saddened. And she puts down the book, puzzled and concerned.
When the hydrogen droplets have ceased, we will travel by primitive self-guided Earth transportation to address these world leaders.
TV close-up. Bowling show. There's a strike. Beldar and Prymaat. This cry blends into sound effects, Doppler effect on their voices, combined with train horn. Cut to exterior Amtrak special, wide, morning. It speeds down the Midwestern corridor. Beldar and Prymaat are clinging to the undercarriage between the wheel trucks of the train, vocally registering their trepidation with a loud, united... Thank you. It rockets out of frame. Dissolved to interior apartment by the tracks. Day. A family is seated at the table eating dinner. They see the two coneheads clinging to the train's undercarriage as it passes by their window.
Pass the salt, will you, Mama?
Exterior United Nations Plaza. Day. Beldar and Prymaat stand on the corner across the street looking up at the imposing structure. Flags fly and it's never looked better.
This is the structure which houses their World Council.
Beldar, perhaps it would be wise to wait until we have Star Cruiser shut down on all human energy sources in a global demonstration of our total superiority.
Unnecessary. The shock to human society when we reveal our presence will cause them to recognize the futility of any resistance. I expect planetary capitulation within hours.
Yes, of course.
Exterior United Nations Plaza, outer security, blue police, sawhorse barriers. Day. There are cops holding back lines of foreign demonstrators, tourists, gawkers, panhandlers. There are so many ethnic, foreign, and political groups in different clothing and colors that Beldar and Prymaat entering do not stand out that much. They go to a cop at a break in the barriers. Beldar stands face to face to him, far too close.
Greetings, Earthman. Are you guardian to your World Council chamber?
Yeah, you have to stand over there behind the barricades, sir.
I am Beldar from the planet Remulac, refueling depot underlord for...
That's great. Just do it behind the barricades, sir.
You would be wise to assist me in the enslavement of your species and total transformation of life as you know it by allowing me to address your World Council.
Sir, for the last time, stand over there behind the barricade, sir.
I must gain entrance.
Beldar tries to go past him. The cop grabs him and whistles for backup. He is joined by 5 other cops who forcibly escort Beldar and Prymaat to the area behind the barricade.
Nibs! Nibs! You have been warned.
Prymaat restrains Beldar and looks around at everyone else around the outside of the barricades. Foreign protesters in native costume, mental release, homeless men people carrying signs, beggars, tourists, a guy in a silver foil and coat hanger robot costume with a loudspeaker in the chest, claiming to be from outer space.
Beldar, come. It is of no use. Without demonstration of power from our Star Cruiser, the humans will remain unconvinced.
The people close around them, pressing to the barricades as Prymaat leads a defeated Beldar out into the street, emerged from the back of the crowd. Interior Blarney Stone Bar, night. Close up, Beldar. He is intent, serious, very threatening.
And people of Earth, realize that your sacrifice made possible a greater glory than has been known to your species.
Beldar, you delivered the speech flawlessly. I applaud you.
She leads an unseen audience in applause.
That's some speech. Oh, that's some speech.
Wish I could do it like that all the time.
The bartender rings a bell near the cash register. The clock says 3:54 a.m. All right, folks, last call. Beldar and Prymaat are at the end of the bar, and on it, in front of them, is a mound of coins, 20 empty draft mugs, and cocktail glasses, plus empty fifths of everything. There are piles of chips and beer nut wrappers everywhere. They have made some friends.
Gus, I will try some nectar from that bottle in the shape of a human with the musical instrument.
You mean that Elvis Pernod? Are you sure you want a licorice liqueur after you've had a quart of gin and scotch?
Yes, please.
I will match him.
Okay. Boy, I don't know where you two put it. Bar's closed, folks. Drink up. Time to go.
Listen, gotta go, Beldar. But hey, listen, I hope you get your Star Cruiser back and that you do take over this planet, because you'd probably do a hell of a lot better job than what we have right now. I'll tell you that.
Thank you. I will remember you. Some humans will have to be spared. I like him.
Let us just leave.
She drags him out, and he passes the pool table by the door. He picks a striped ball and takes a bite out of it like an apple.
Number 11. Delicious.
As they exit, the barman puts a quarter from the pile in the jukebox, and Tom Jones's What's New Pussycat plays. Exterior Manhattan night, 4:30 a.m. Beldar and Prymaat find themselves in a near-deserted Times Square. Beldar is finally coming to terms with the situation.
When the Highmaster commanded me to enfranchise this planet, I accepted with the hope of advancing my career and obtaining a fine home where we could replicate and nourish offspring. I have failed to do this. Worse, I have failed you. Your father was right.
No, Beldar. I will never forget the first time I saw your cone. It seemed to stand out from all the others as you competed in the Festival of the Moons of Meepsor. It was you who tackled the grease, Garthok. And the day was yours, but I had chosen you already.
I fear that day may have been the zenith of my contribution to the progress of Cone civilization. Here we are, stranded on this measly planet without a Torg or in our Narat.
Still, there is no place in the 10 universes I would rather be but beside you. Together, we will overcome this setback and to work to improve our fortunes.
They pass an electronics store window with multiple TV sets on.
We must gather primitive Earth components to build a communicator with which to contact our superiors on Remulac.
Beldar sees Prymaat is on all the monitors from the camera pointing into the street.
Certainly, in one measure, I am a success. In my choice of genetomate.
Oh, let's hone cones.
But now, here.
Let's hone.
She takes him by the sleeve and pulls him into an adjacent alleyway. Off screen, we hear the strains of What's New, Pussycat? Prymaat and Beldar sensuously begin to touch the tips of their cones together, emitting soft pink crackles of energy. This grows into a rubbing frenzy, and they writhe pixelated on the ground in full cone moan.
Our cones are zoned for each other.
The entrance to the alleyway, a garbage truck pulls up. Garbage man picks up a can and sees the writhing cones. In shock, he tips the can upside down, completely missing the truck. Cut to exterior Otto's repair shop day. Close up, paper. Fills the window, declaring Otto's invincible TV, audio, PC center. TV's appliances now repaired while you wait. A male customer moves across frame. Interior Auto's repair shop day. 10 people stand at the repair counter. A couple hold televisions in their laps. 4 wait for theirs, and a few leave with their newly repaired goods. Otto, the store owner, an ex-fullback type African-American man, and another black male customer are having a conversation.
We'll be ready in about a minute and a half, man.
Whoa. Hey, Otto. This dude's almost as fast as you. He laughs over Otto onto Beldar in the background. Wearing a leather work apron, the Conehead works at the repair counter with superhuman high speed using screwdrivers, soldering guns, probes, and his fingers. He fixes the broken appliances.
Nah, he's the best. Shows up on time, gives me an honest day's work. You can't find people like that anymore.
That's right.
These young boys, white boys, and the young brothers, too, they show up late, loaf around all they want to check.
That's right. Gimmer, gimmer, gimmer.
And after midnight, I can't do that, but I hear that.
Beldar finishes up and brings the repaired piece over to the counter.
Here is your super juice master. For future reference, frequent cleaning of the blades will prevent motor wear and buildup of earth bacteria.
Beldar leaves and goes back to repairing another item.
I told you he's good. If I had 3 of him, I could retire.
Excuse me, Otto. I believe it is time for my midday session of activities for protein carbo intake.
Yeah, sure. Take your lunch break.
Beldar marches happily off through the back door.
Lunch, 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 lunch.
Exterior backyard lot behind Otto's store. Day. Its main feature is a light green, torn, crumpled, and damaged single-wide late 50s sheet metal mobile house trailer. Good lord. Beldar crosses the littered lot and barges into the trailer. Interior, the trailer. Day.
Greetings, Earthwoman. Time for midday consumption of mass quantities.
Joining her husband at their telephone cable spooled dinner table with milk carton chairs, she brings their meal. A mound of American slices still in the wrappers, unopened wiener packages, chips, beer, and sodas in great numbers, with Beldar occasionally snacking on nearby peeling wallpaper and exposed pink fiberglass insulation. Beldar removes a bath towel, which covers a tall object on the floor beside him. It is an electronic work in progress, a device of some kind. He slides a computer chip board out of his sleeve.
Excellent. You have obtained additional component for the intergalactic communicator. When do you estimate its completion?
Within 3 particles, we will be summoning a rescue vessel to take us to Remulac, and we will return with a fleet of battle cruisers to initiate the conquest and restructuring of Earth civilization. This Atari Space Invader circuit board serves well as a strognatite uni-arc transducer.
She gets up and goes to an old gas oven.
I have re-radiated last night's leftover starch disk.
She hauls out a large steaming pizza and places it on the spool table. He grabs a large slice.
Ah, pizza. I will enjoy it.
Warning, do not smear top of your neck hole on the molten lactate extract of hoofed animals.
This comes too late as Beldar has already bitten into the slice, which sticks to his palate, sizzling. He reaches for a nearby bottle of Windex and, unscrewing the cap, pours the contents into his burning mouth to cool it down with an audible sss. They pause for a moment and then resume eating.
There is reason for returning to Remulac that is more important than interplanetary conquest.
But what could be more important than planetary conquest?
Beldar, I am with Cone.
Beldar freezes, mouth open.
You? I? A young one?
Affirmative.
Beldar begins eating super fast, even by Cone standards. Dissolve to Interior Otto's repair shop night. Otto is taking cash out of the drawer of the register and recording the day's receipts. On the counter, there are 2 piles of money and an automatic handgun. Beldar is standing next to him, a little close, watching the machine and remembering each item he repaired and his commission. The machine gives the total.
8,000. That's the best week I ever had, and that's 1,200 for you, Beldar.
Thank you.
By the way, Beldar, I never got your social security number.
Ah, my social security number. I am sorry. I keep forgetting.
I gotta have that number. There's state payroll forms and workman's comp. You do have one, don't you?
Of course, I have one. I am a citizen of this planet.
All right. Now, what is it?
Oh, 2, 5, 6, X, 6, 1.3 dash 8 B 7.6.
Hey, Beldar, my man. There aren't any letters in his social security number.
No, Of course not.
So you're telling me you don't have a social security number?
Correct.
Why not?
I am an illegal alien.
Oh, man, I knew you were too good to be true. Where are you from?
The planet Remulac. I am refueling Depot Underlord for this.
No, man, I don't want to know about this shit. Look, we gotta take care of it. I don't want to lose you.
Cut to interior seedy diner night. Close up Italian man in Armani suit.
Okay, here's the deal. Your name is Donnie DeChico.
Close up on Beldar.
DE capital CICCO. You were born August 11th, 1951 in Brockton, Massachusetts. You are Mary Margaret Reardon.
Prymaat and Beldar are seated opposite the suited man in a booth. Otto is there too.
Born June 26, 1955 in Cranston, Rhode Island. You two were married June 4th, 1975 in Koros, Greece, where you're on a fellowship following your graduation from Hobart College, where you majored in modern civilizations.
Got it.
Hobart College.
Everything else you need is in here. Birth certificate, names of brothers and sisters, school records, former addresses, places of employment, everything. Grandmother's maiden name. Not that they'll ask, but it's in there. And most important, social security numbers. All right? Welcome to the United States.
The suit exits.
Congratulations.
He shakes their hands. Cut to exterior Coneheads' decrepit mobile home night. The same squalid surroundings behind the TV repair shop, the top of the mobile trailer. Beldar adjusts a tall, multi-pronged aerial on the roof. Interior Conehead's back bedroom night. Prymaat is putting the finishing touches on something with soldering gun and Phillips head screwdriver. Widened to reveal, Prymaat is seated in the living room in front of the Communicator, a triangular-shaped screen atop of elaborate electronic cabinet.
The intergalactic communicator? It is complete.
Perhaps a final tightening of the spiral dimensional fasteners.
Beldar, activate the device. Address the council. There is no advantage to delay.
Beldar paces anxiously back and forth, taking a package of cigarettes. He plunges all 20 smokes into his mouth. Removing the package, he lights them with a blowtorch. Smoking furiously, he resumes pacing. Prymaat activates the communicator. The triangular screen springs to life with strange sounds and geometric color patterns. Close up, the screen. A color slide depicting the Remulac communication system logo comes up, accompanied by easy listening alien music. The logo dissolves, and then the chairman of the High Council, Marlax, appears with councilors arrayed in a semicircular table behind him. Beldar looks surprised to see Marlax.
Marlax, I wasn't expecting to get you.
Greetings, Beldar and Prymaat. We haven't heard from you in 10 class hogs. We are glad to see your life functions are still active.
Greetings, Marlax. I see you have attained the position of E4 in the High Council. I always knew you were destined for such a...
Yes, Gap. Have you succeeded in enslaving our designated planets and constructing the ore cruiser protoid refueling depot?
Unanticipated failure of the Menanglian drive and guidance has caused us to abandon our vessel in a fluid mass.
The weapons of Earth are not so useless.
Mabs! Grunclath!
At what coordinates might we expect a rescue vessel?
Specific time coordinates are difficult. Our space program has been cut back. Our Tarvanium ore cruiser will enter your solar system in about 7 zerls.
7 zerls? But we...
Bargains! Remulac! Narpale!
The image dissolves and the screen goes blank with an abruptly decreasing electronic sound. Beldar is disheveled and drenched with sweat. Stunned, he keeps staring at the empty screen. Prymaat moves to his side.
7 zerls.
Beldar, it seems we have no option but to stay and function among these primitive humans. If we are to endure this, it is essential we acquire a larger dwelling and an internal combustion vehicle.
Yes, the young one comes. We must prepare.
Prymaat takes Beldar's hand and places it on her naked belly. The shape of a tiny cone protrudes beneath the skin. Beldar smiles with a look of satisfaction. Cut to interior computer room day. Extreme close-up, computer feed, and card sorter. A screen is scrolling numbers at high speed, and immediately below it, a flutter of cards is being spat through the system. The computer freezes and a card is ejected. It displays a social security number and the name Donald R. DeCiccio. Oh my God. DeCiccio. Oh my
Chico.
God, I forgot it. DeCiccio.
There, Chico.
DeChico! There it is. Oh my God, Topo Chico, DeChico. Got it. A hand with military signet ring selects the card, wanting to reveal a chubby brunette male in his mid-30s wearing light brown tortoiseshell glasses, a white shirt, red tie, and gray pinstripe suit. On the wall behind them, above the computer terminal, is a plaque. U.S. Department of Justice, Immigration and Naturalization Service, Mid-Atlantic District.
Look, here it is again. Now, Mr. DeChico is working as an appliance repairman in Patterson. Pretty good for a guy who died 6 years ago at Clam Bar in Sheepshead Bay.
He holds the card up to show it to another agent who looks almost the same as himself. They are both clones of Attorney General William M. Barr.
That's the 10th job he's taken this month. Have we tracked down anyone else using this number?
Yeah, Donald DeChico's turned out to be a Samoan, a Vietnamese, a Sicilian, and a Sri Lankan.
Somebody's really burning up those deceased SI numbers again.
It's flagged Special Enforcement Section. Better send it up to Seedling.
Cut to Interior Seedling's office day. Close up Gorman Seedling. He is a chiseled, stern-jawed ex-military type in blue suit, red tie, cold, steely-eyed in his early 30s. The image is distorted through water as we are shooting through the top jar of an office cooler. He depresses the tap and there is a large burble. He approaches a long-haired, blonde, lean Godunov type artist in a blue work shirt and paint-splattered jeans, handcuffed a chair under a spotlight flanked by two uniformed agents. He licks his dry lips thirstily. Seedling gulps down the water, crumples the cup, tosses it into the wastebasket, and continues his interrogation, dragging on a cigarette and blowing a smoke ring, which settles around the guy's neck like a collar. The interrogator sits on his desk next to a little sign, Gorman Seedling.
Mr. Van Weesp, we know you've been living in Manhattan for 6 years under a forged tourist visa.
The subject swallows hard.
How have you been supporting yourself all this time?
I live with friends. I had some savings.
Of course, you haven't been selling any paintings.
No, of course not. I'm not an artiste.
Well, then help me with something.
He hits the remote for a slide projector and image comes up on the wall. It is a Schnabel-like abstract oil painting.
This painting, entitled Rats und Sie, was sold last month at Veidecker Galleries in Soho. It's unsigned.
Yeah, so what does that have to do with me?
Doesn't it seem awfully similar to this picture?
He hits the slide remote again and a nearly identical painting comes up on the wall next to the first one.
Which was sold in Amsterdam in 1981. This one signed with your name, Jan van Weesp.
He hits the remote again and the signature on the second painting is enlarged close up.
So don't waste any more of our time telling us you haven't been working here, okay?
All right. It's my work. Are you going to deport me?
Not right away, I'm afraid. There's a lot of red tape involved, so for the next 4 months, you'll be residing at an INS detention compound in the Kowalachi Glades Deportees Holding Center in Florida. Now, by the way, how's your Spanish? Because your new roommates are some of Castro's ex-mental patients who have been there since '77. I understand some of them are quite artistic. They do a lot of carving. But don't worry, I'm sure the time will fly. Before you know it, you'll be back home in Belgium.
He nods to the uniformed agents who uncuff him and begin dragging him out.
No! Oh God, no, please don't send me back to Belgium!
As he is being dragged through the door, kicking and screaming.
Oh, one thing, Van Weesp.
His escort stops and holds him to face Seedling.
How could you do it? Knowing you were taking jobs away from hardworking American artists who play by the rules. How could you live with yourself?
I don't know. I live with a model who wants to act.
Get this piece of trash out of my sight.
The uniformed agents take out Van Weesp, screaming about Belgium. Seedling turns off the interrogation light and puts his coat back on. He and the two agents are all wearing the same types of glasses, shirts, ties, shoes, and suits.
I don't know. I should have zapped that crook 2 months ago. What do you guys got? Well, that deceased SSI number you flagged is turned up again. Thanks. The last illegal who used it skipped back to Somalia before I could get it. This one I want.
Low angle, Seedling slaps the file on the desk, blacking out the scene. Cut to interior dentist's office day. A light box clicks on, revealing an x-ray of strange, jagged teeth. The concerned female hygienist studies this and is joined by the dentist, a slick, flashy, gold-chained guy in the traditional smock. He puts his gloves on and examines the x-ray.
Dr. Rudolph, this Mr. DeChico, he wants them capped. All 89 of them.
She hands him a clipboard with a dental chart.
Wow. Does he have insurance?
Cash.
Oh, okay. Let's check this out.
He enters. Interior dental operating room day. Beldar is lying in the dentist's chair, the headrest adjusted as high as it will go.
Good afternoon, Mr. DeChico.
Dear Chico, the name is Dear Chico.
Oh, Mr. DeChico, I'm Dr. Rudolph. Have you ever had a regular dentist who could send your records if you do decide to become my patient?
Once when I was a young one, I chipped my tooth on a rocket sled.
Okay.
And I received attention from my Mentot, but no records could be sent from where we come from.
All right. Now, I understand you would like your front teeth capped.
Correct.
Open up, please, and we'll just take a look.
Beldar opens his mouth. Close up Beldar's mouth and dentist's face. Beldar has double rows of jagged shark-like teeth. The dentist is momentarily shaken.
And close, please.
Beldar closes his mouth. The dentist takes a moment to compose himself, then grabs the appropriate tools and approaches again.
And open, please.
Beldar opens his mouth again, and the dentist places a suction device inside next to his gums.
Okay, we'll just start over here, Mr. DeFasco.
You're here!
Close up Beldar's mouth. His long, irregularly shaped purplish tongue is in the way.
Open wider, please, if you can.
Beldar's mouth opens frighteningly wide with double rows of mini shark teeth clicking back like the queen beast in Alien.
Is the headrest comfortable?
Fine.
I'm going to give you some nitrous oxide. Let me know if you feel any pain, and I'll turn...
Beldar's POV, the dentist's voice distorts, echoes, and his face goes out of focus. Sound effects dissolve. Dream sequence. A murky limbo out of which images emerge and fade. A beautiful young cone woman dives into a gelato pool. Beldar smiling and swimming up to his shoulders. His view of a cone surfacing in front of him. It is Marlax.
Your name is Donald R. DeChico.
Beldar is now on a podium in limbo, making his speech, interrupted by flags of all nations, which billow into his face, muffling the sound of his voice. A river of empty chairs flows off into the distance in front of him. There is one occupant, the cop from the UN barricade. He claps in a bored manner. Beldar walks along a tray with a tray of matches. His cone is smaller and stumped. A sign in front of the tray pronounces him blunt. Prymaat's face. Beldar! Beldar! Interior Coneheads trailer. Bedroom, night. Beldar close up. He is sleeping against the mattress, which is standing straight up. His mouth is stuffed with cotton from the dentist.
Mabs.
Oh.
She shakes him awake, points out the window, and peeks through the blinds. Exterior Otto's backyard, night. Their POV, a multiracial INS SWAT team swarms into the yard. Interior Coneheads trailer, bedroom, night.
Human authority figures. We must egress immediately.
Sorry. Prymaat pulls him off the vertical mattress and goes to the dresser drawer where she picks out a large roll of bills wrapped in elastic bands. Off screen, there are voices and poundings on the trailer door. Prymaat pushes a groggy Beldar into the hall and grabs the intergalactic communicator, which she shoves into his arms.
They are at the portal. We are Scrap Lord.
Beldar, still shaking cobwebs from his head, foggily appraises the situation, clutches the communicator, and hunches down, bracing himself. Exterior trailer wall, night. An INS agent is crouching and making his way along behind the outer wall of the trailer. He hears rustling from inside and freezes. Suddenly, with a splintering crash, the agent is flattened by Beldar bursting through the wall, carrying the communicator, followed by Prymaat. A chain link fence, Beldar and Prymaat run along beside it as junkyard guard dogs on the other side keep pace with them, barking noisily until they disappear into the night, leaving a trail of dollar bills and electronic components. Interior the trailer night. Otto is handcuffed as Seedling goes through the effects left behind in the bedroom.
Knowingly employing an illegal alien with a false SSI number is a Class 3 felony, punishable by up to 10 years in prison.
You know, I knew there was something strange about them, something wrong. Couldn't put my finger on it. I'm glad you people showed up. Yeah.
Beldar's fuel underlord flight suit with its cape, black velvet and gold brocade, stripes of rank, Star Cruiser insignia, and a symbol of the moon cluster of Meepzor. It is not something one could buy in a costume shop.
No foreign passports, letters, correspondence, newspapers, nothing to indicate their country of origin except these Mardi Gras suits.
Let me see that. Maybe they're Brazilian.
He lifts the flight suit and fingers the silver and emerald metallic jeweled strands which make up its construction.
Interesting.
Another agent produces something and hands it to him.
That symbol also appears on this card.
Seedling takes a laminated card, close up. It is in the bad commercial art style of airplane safety cards, but instead depicts a side cross-section view of the Conehead Star Cruiser with exit arrows and small silhouette figures of beings escaping with conical dots for heads. Remulac in script accompanies the tri-moon symbol of the Meepzor cluster.
Possibly Korean. Get this text analyzed.
Seedling looks around disgustedly at the slar pad. The shin-high clutter and detritus that is normal to the consuming coneheads on Earth.
Look at this filth. Human beings don't live this way.
He picks up a large milk carton with bite marks out of it.
Find out where they're from. Wherever that is, they're going back there.
Dissolved to black, slowly we begin to hear the sounds of sitars and oogs, foreign chatter, the sound of children's laughter, a song coming over a radio somewhere. Fade in. Interior taxi day, a street as seen from behind the windshield. On the dashboard next to the computer meter is a license with a bad picture of Beldar, cone chopped off by the frame, and dark glasses with his name. Conehead Beldar Sin. He drives to park in front of exterior East Orange, a triplex day, a narrow shingle board, 5-family dwelling on a tree-lined street with dirt yards. A couple of taxis are parked in the front apron. 6 children are playing around the grounds. A cab pulls up and parks. The driver has the seat tilted way back. The door opens and Beldar gets out with his briefcase, lunchbox, and a newspaper. He is wearing a real-looking sick turban. He greets the children who mimic his stiff walk down the laneway to the side of the house. Side basement entrance, it is marked number 3.5 and has a label over the mailbox. Conehead. Beldar enters a subterranean doorway. Interior sub-basement apartment day. Beldar enters. He and Prymaat touch cones.
Greetings.
Greetings. How was your day ferrying humans through the grid?
Acceptable. Tips could have been better.
The door buzzer rings. Beldar cautiously looks out.
It's Khoudri, my employer and our landlord.
He opens the door to admit a huge 7-foot-tall Sikh with a raven black mustache and beard net, a purple turban, Lee jean jacket, and lime green pantaloons. He is Khoudri.
Ah, Beldar, forgive my intrusion. Ravi's sick. Can you work the midnight shift? Airport. Use my car.
Certainly. However, this will be the last triple shift. I must now stand at the side of my mate for the impending birth spasm.
Ah, yes, the child. Congratulations, this is fantastic. Come, tonight my family celebrates paying off the mortgage on my taxi medallion. Allow them to have joy from your good fortune as well. You must eat with us.
Cut to interior Khoudri's kitchen night, close up. Beldar is vacuuming in several papadum wafers at high speed. Now he pauses, suddenly aware of his behavior, and stops with a self-conscious, quiet crunch. Meat and dishes are piled high. 20 people sit in this spanking clean chrome and linoleum room. Kids run around. A Sikh station plays music on the radio as Khoudri toasts Beldar, praising him to his family.
Another toast. To Beldar Singh. Never in the history of Al-Kandar livery service has there been a driver with such incomparable stamina. This is a man who routinely works an 80-hour stretch, 3 and 4 shifts in a row, no need for sleep, Precision driving without so much as ever a hint of denting or scratches. Known throughout my fleet for avoidance of potholes and a car that is invariable sweet smelling.
Beldar nods and acknowledges the praise.
Thank you. I use Mr. Clean.
Not like your cab, Buddha, the back seat of which has rendered it untouchable.
Buddha reacts with a surly frown, and an argument in their native language begins heating up amongst the men on various sides of the question.
Please, Prymaat and I thank you for your kindness.
Yes. We are grateful that you embraced us and assisted our ascendancy to the next level on the human wealth chain.
Let me impart to you the keys of happiness in this country, America. Be your own boss. Avoid government entanglement. Don't get chained to a desk. And for your services, accept cash only.
Be own boss. No desk. Cash only.
To Beldar!
They drink in a large Sikh with his hair in a tall, uncovered Vedacone gives Beldar a hug, who then stands to offer a toast. He is inebriated.
Large, deep, pigmented people of Earth. Your weapons are useless. Your food is spicy. I love your blunt skulls.
Sit down, now.
She drags Beldar down, then suddenly there is a tremendous pop and liquid whoosh.
Ah! My flu barb is broken. The birth spasm has begun. Come, Beldar.
Kitchen-wide, she rises and waddles to the door nonchalantly as gallons of water splash to the floor. Cut to interior hospital birthing room night. Prymaat is in a sweaty, excruciatingly painful breathing mode, screaming.
Ah! I hate you, Beldar. Ah! I hate you.
As she crushes his hand, which she is holding. This is a birth scene with special effects rivaling Alien and The Exorcist, with the doctors and nurses agape and wide-eyed throughout. Privacy partition curtains billow in and out with every superhuman breath Prymaat sucks in and blows out. Table and sheets become awash with horrifying purple and pink foamy viscous mucus and fluids as the baby rhino-like bleedings of the newborn emerging infant cone are heard.
Would you like to cut the umbilical cord, Mr. Conehead?
Beldar nods and grins, showing teeth. Close up, nurse. There is a loud chomping sound off screen as she registers shock. Cut to interior incubator room day. Tracking long trays of infants, there is a Hispanic, Chinese, white, and black babies. Camera stops at Cone Infant. Awake and lying inside the incubation cabinet through the windows to the hall outside, Beldar and 5 Sikhs are pressed against the glass. They pat him on the back and he smiles proudly. Cut to close up. A topographical model, depicting the U.S.-Mexican border with little HO size, maybe, figurines running across the Rio Grande River at El Paso. Interior Seedling's office day. Seedling is behind his desk listening to a departmental engineer give a pitch.
Essentially, sir, it's a wire buried along the border from El Paso to Laredo, forming an invisible fence. You've seen the ads on TV.
Uh-huh.
As a Mexican approaches the border, he hears a high-pitched buzzing that warns him to turn back. For those who choose to continue across the actual boundary, well, they'll receive a jolt they won't soon forget.
So you're proposing we collar the entire Mexican population?
No, sir, not at all. We just collar the deportees.
I like it. If you can get them to bite down in the Southwest region, I'll recommend it to the commissioner.
The engineer exits with a "thank you, sir." Agent number 1 enters.
That's the last appointment today. Here's your checklist, Gorman. Call Florida and Oklahoma detention centers. Look into the fire in the Chinese sweatshops, illegal Greek drywall workers' toxic exposure report, sign deportation orders, and update on the Chico file.
Well, what about the Chico? Anything?
We have the analysis from Lexcom Labs on the card found at the subject's dwelling. No known language, no known script, glyph characters on or print within the cataloged foreign nationality encodes.
Also, the lab did a study of the Mardi Gras costumes. They contain fibers with 5 wholly unknown polymer strands. So what does this mean? They're from another planet?
That theory has been advanced, sir.
Should they in fact be creatures from another planet, isn't that Air Force responsibility? Well, if they're just visiting, sure, but the moment they try to work here, they're mine.
He turns to a bulletin board featuring a map with colored pins and two police-style rough and inaccurate composite sketches of Beldar and Prymaat with their skulls only slightly pointed.
I want more agents on this case. We know this pattern of sighting centers around the Sikh neighborhood in East Orange. Get on it.
Cut to interior Coneheads basement apartment evening. Prymaat is nursing the tiny cone baby. Beldar enters from work. He puts his double lunchbox down and goes to them.
Ah, our young Gwale fluids flow freely. The young one nourishes. I am next.
He makes himself a drink, sits in the broken down lazy boy, and smiles at his mate. Prymaat smiles proudly back. The little cone moves. Beldar contemplates this scene and then glances around the peeling, grease-stained walls, the shabby furniture, the bare light bulb.
This dwelling is no longer acceptable. Even by standards of Earth, it is not good enough for you and our young job. We must strive to settle her in a clean, crime-free neighborhood with good schools and a local economic matrix which will not tax us to death. We are no better off than we were 2 Zerls ago.
Prymaat hands him a page from a multiple listing real estate book. A photo is circled.
This 15-year-old ranch style dwelling available at $6,900 down with an assumable 9% fixed mortgage.
It is suitable. But how? Our currency stock is insufficient.
Incorrect. You have been working nights and I have been saving.
She produces from her apron a biker wallet on a chain, which she brings up to show Beldar. The wallet is stuffed with a roll of elastic-bound bills as large as a coil of theater tickets.
Ah, I praise you, Earth Woman.
Prymaat rises and goes to the changing table. She disconnects the infant.
Look, she has your cone, Beldar. You should learn how to change her.
I feel like one of the ancient. I have finally become what I always... Never mind, what do I do?
Peel the tabs back, wipe her, and discard the padded effluent collector.
Beldar opens the diaper, leans over, and twin jets of purple baby cone urine hit him in the face, nearly knocking him off his feet. Cut to interior parked car desk. Close up, INS agent in disguise. He wears face paint, turban, and sunglasses with a radio earpiece.
Subject vehicle coming your way.
Exterior basement steps night, close on another disguised agent, female.
Copy. I have him in sight.
Exterior Khoudri's triplex, East Orange, dusk. Beldar's cab pulls up in front and parks. A team of disguised agents descends on the car. The agents forcibly haul out the driver and throw him against the car. Seedling rips the driver's turban off and spins around to find Khoudri.
It's not them. What's going on here?
Why do you do this grave insult?
An agent has grabbed the keys from the cab's ignition and holds them up.
Look at this, sir.
On the chain is the same tri-moon and cone symbol from the flight suit and Star Cruiser egress card.
Where did you get this keychain?
It is a gift from one of the finest men I've ever known.
Where is he?
I don't know. They moved out 1 week ago. And I've received no word from them. All I know is Beldar Singh was the best driver we ever had.
What about you? Let's see your proof of alien registration, your green card.
Khoudri pulls out a card and holds it up with his picture.
Citizen since 1968.
Seedling takes the tri-moon and cone symbol charm off the chain and hands the key to Khoudri and turns away, disgusted.
Find this insignia and we find these illegals. Come on, let's get out of here.
Cut to a real estate for sale sign, close-up day, as two hands put a sold sticker across it, widened to reveal Beldar and Prymaat standing proudly on the front lawn of a small 3-bedroom ranch bungalow on a quiet cul-de-sac with the used Buick convertible parked in the driveway and a sapling on the front lawn. Beldar puts his arm around Prymaat. They smile happily and walk up the front path to the door, pushing a pram with a baby cone visible under the shade. He puts the key in the door and opens it. They exchange an affectionate glance and push the pram into the house.
Home.
Primitive, but ours.
Cut to exterior next door neighbor's house day. Lisa Farber is watering a potted geranium on the patio. Larry Farber is attempting to start his lawnmower.
Larry, I told you to take that thing to a professional.
We should have bought an electric one.
Lisa notices activity on the other side of their hedge and looks over to see a cone bob up.
Larry, did you see that?
Larry looks as the cone drops out of sight and then another one appears. It then drops out and the other one comes up again. This sequence repeats several times in tandem as one. They drop what they're doing and sneak down the length of their hedge to see what's on the other side. Beldar and Prymaat in automatonical fashion are waxing their new car, a big old GM convertible, which has crudely lettered signs on the side. Meet Zor Driving Instruction Academy. B. Conehead, owner, pilot. 24 an hour, 2 hours minimum, cash only.
Hi.
This freezes Beldar and Prymaat mid-action.
What is that?
Neighbors.
They lean into each other and confer.
Neighbors.
Human neighbors will be in close proximity. Primary contact must be positive. Maintain eye contact, exchange names, and benevolent demeanor.
They paste on a smile, stand and rush to Larry and Lisa, standing much too close to them. The neighbors react with mild apprehension.
Greetings. I am Beldar Conehead. This is Prymaat, my genetomate.
Greetings. I am Prymaat Conehead. This is Beldar, my genetomate.
I'm Larry, and this is Lisa, my genetomate.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
Yes, we are pleased to have acquired our apportioned dwelling zone within a suburban sprawl of this mid-Atlantic quadrant.
You know, Laurel Hills used to be all farmland.
Farmland.
That territory of agronomy-based system where there is a transfer of nutrient minerals to selective photosynthetic life forms which are collected and distributed to the populace. See contour plowing.
So, where you guys from?
Beldar and Prymaat pause. They look at each other.
France. We come from France.
Yes, that's it. France.
You know, I thought I could hear an accent.
Well, like they say, we're all pink on the inside.
There is an awkward pause as Beldar and Prymaat look at each other with a little negative shake of their heads.
Allow me to extend the non-specific obligatory open-ended invitation for you and your genetomate to come next door for our alco beverages and absorption of digestive consumables.
Sure, sounds great. I got a neat little country club here. How's your handicap?
Handicap.
Come on, Larry. We gotta get going. I want that lawn mowed this weekend.
Yeah, damn lawnmower won't start. Gotta take it down to the shop again.
Beldar looks over at the lawnmower and goes to it. Farbers follow.
Internal combustion chlorophyll stalk slicer. There is fuel in the device.
Oh, yeah. There's plenty of gas. It just won't start.
Beldar bends over and twists out the spark plug, which he then pops into his mouth and noisily cleans with a mouthwash type motion. He picks it off his tongue, holds it up to his lips, and he dries it by blowing with incredible force, which sounds like a high-pressure air hose.
Wow.
Beldar replaces the spark plug and gives one tug on the pull start. The engine roars to life. Cut to interior Conehead's living room day. Vacuum cleaner, brush head, close up. Sound effects, power suck, travel up wand and hose to Prymaat, sucking in the dirt. Ew. The door buzzer sounds. Prymaat stops vacuuming.
Beldar, front portal annunciator.
I'll get it.
Beldar goes to the door, passing a slat crib with baby Connie, vertical, with a cutout cone shape. The 6-month-old baby looks content. Front hall, Beldar opens the door, revealing a matronly woman in her 50s. Witness number 2, and a conservatively dressed, thin, blonde, blue-eyed male, witness number 1, in his late 20s. They carry Bibles.
Hello there. We've just stopped by to introduce ourselves.
Yes.
We attend the Kingdom Hall on Cove Neck Road.
Next to the dry cleaners across from the 7-Eleven.
Exactly.
May I ask you a question?
Proceed.
Do you agree that the world is headed towards a terrible calamity?
Yes, most definitely. In fact, I have direct personal knowledge that this is so.
Oh, good. May we come in?
Of course. Enter. Assume comfort.
He admits them to the living room.
My mate, Prymaat.
Greetings. Please sit.
The witnesses sit.
You just moved into the neighborhood?
Correct.
How nice.
So, what do you know about the doom awaiting this planet?
As witnesses, we believe that the end of the world is approaching and that only 144,000 people will be saved.
I do not think it will be that many.
No, the Bible clearly tells us that 144,000 will be saved.
That is a very optimistic estimate, considering the primitive weapons the Earth people will use for their defense.
Some of Earth weapons are not so useless.
Nebs, drop it.
When that time comes, no weapon of this earth shall avail mankind.
Correct.
Correct.
Would you like to visit our place of worship sometime?
Negative. It is time for my Genetto mate and I to return to our basement guz chamber to renew our slar phase.
Okay, it's been nice meeting with you. Here's a copy of Watchtower, and please feel free to come to Kingdom Hall.
Thank you. You must leave now. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
He and Prymaat herd the witnesses out, bumping them with their chests. Together they chant, "Thank you, goodbye."
Thank you. Goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye. Are humans, but in some ways more advanced than most.
Perhaps on the day of our return on a fleet of battle cruisers, as I begin the decimation of the human population with our Quovum cannon, we will try to cease the slaughter at that figure.
Dissolve to black. Music, Kodachrome, Paul Simon. Home movie style montage, Connie growing up. Exterior Coneheads backyard day. Beldar tosses the baby Connie high in the air. Very high. Exterior beach day. Beldar has built an amazing sandcastle which resembles landscape from another planet. Termite-like clusters of dwellings around a central cone cathedral. Excuse me. They are dressed as a typical summer family. Visors, sunglasses, loud shirts and shorts, bulging veins on Beldar's legs. Prymaat applies SPF 40 to Connie's 3-year-old cone as the child stomps happily on one corner of the construction. Exterior McDonald's takeout window, day. Beldar receives a massive order consisting of 12 bags. Interior their car, backseat day. 3-year-old Connie immediately rips open a Happy Meal to retrieve the small colored rubberized hamburglar, there we go, figurines, which she immediately devours. Connie's POV, her parents proudly turn and lean in to look at her. Their cones fit perfectly into the symmetry of the golden arches. Interior Conehead's house, day. 7-year-old Connie with friends blows out the birthday candles. Her lung power sends the cake into the wall on the opposite side of the room, causing the Farbers to duck. Interior school amphitheater, night. 12-year-old Connie is in sync with 2 other girls as they pot a beret across the stage in a primary school version of Swan Lake. Dissolve to exterior Conehead Street, dusk in the fall. A Harley with sidecar silhouetted against the sky. Beldar drives. Prymaat and a 12-year-old Connie ride in the sidecar. They all wear conical custom sparkle-painted helmets with long chin straps. They motor quietly down their block, responding to the waves of the neighbors with nods and friendly hand gestures. They acknowledge a lady filling a bird feeder. Beldar turns into his driveway. Bike's tour trunk, a bumper sticker is affixed to it. Helmet laws suck. Beldar pulls out his Genie remote control garage opener, points it at the garage, and pushes it several times. It doesn't work, so he looks around furtively and tips his cone. The garage door opens with a blue crackle. He drives the bike in, and the door closes behind them. Fade to black. Super legend. 7 zeros later. Slow dissolve to exterior the Conehead's house, wide, early morning. There are changes. The house is an addition to the second floor above the garage, all on applied cedar shake shingles. There is a new convertible, a second car with a sunroof, and the sapling has turned into a tree. There are flower beds, a mini windmill, and a satellite dish in the backyard. The roof is covered completely by smaller TV aerials and a couple of satellite dishes. The door opens and Beldar steps out in pajamas, furtively looking to the left and to the right. He has put on a little weight and has grown a mustache. He bends over, picks up the morning newspaper, and steps back inside. Interior kitchen day. Close-up toaster on the counter. It is a 6-slice restaurant model. Out of it pops pieces of toasted junk mail, Publishers Clearinghouse, etc. Female hands with wedding rings and pink nail polish pluck the mail out and butter it. Widened to reveal, Prymaat is wearing her house coat and slippers. The buttered, scorched mail is added to a pile on the table, which joins mounds of Eggos, Pop-Tarts, sausage links, and bacon strips. She sits and picks up her part of the newspaper. Beldar reads and eats happily.
What is a 7-letter word for a tomb in ancient Egypt, which is a quadrilateral masonry mass having a smooth, steeply sloping sides meeting at an apex?
Flindar.
Connie, her young teenage daughter enters the kitchen. She is a 90s teen, smart and sexy, very attractive with a nice body. Work, Connie. A high school letter jacket is draped around her shoulders.
Morning, Mom. Morning, Dad.
Dawn greetings, young one. What is that cloak you are wearing with the single glyph?
It's Ronnie Guestletter's letter jacket.
Letter jacket?
Letter jacket, a garment blended from cloven-hoofed mammals' byproducts, leather and wool, awarded to young humans to recognize athletic excellence.
But if it is Ronnie's, why are you wearing it?
Well, it was cold yesterday, so he lent it to me.
You have garments of your own, which I have purchased at great expense. This increased familiarity with the human Ronnie is ill-advised.
You don't like him because he's a blunt skull.
Maintain low tones with me. Maintain low tones. Now remove the letter jacket.
She reluctantly takes off the coat to reveal a midi sweater, short skirt, and black stockings.
Nibs! Nibs! Unacceptable. Return to your guest chamber and change immediately.
What's wrong with what I'm wearing?
You look like a common flock rag on payday.
Mom!
I think she looks fine.
I bet Daddy would like you in this.
Nibs! I would not.
Prymaat smiles, thinks, then the smile drops. Now there is a knock at the back door.
That's Ronnie. Let him in while I get my books.
She exits as Prymaat opens the kitchen door and admits Ronnie Guestsetter.
Greetings, Ronnie. Ow, ow, ow,
Hi.
ow.
I'm Mr. Conehead. So what's in the news?
Incompetence, corruption, the grasp of technology exceeds mankind's responsibility. Human folly.
Right.
Cut to Interior Senate hearing room day. Close up. A sign. Immigration Affairs Senate Subcommittee.
Now, Deputy Commissioner Seedling, before this committee can recommend our appointment to the position of commissioner, there are still several questions regarding your tenure as Mid-Atlantic Bureau Chief, which we'd like answered.
A panel of senators is confronting Seedling and his staff. They are older, some gray, more prosperous, and powerful.
Senator, that was a long time ago, a very busy office. I won't be able to recall everything that came across my desk there.
How about case number 889343B, the so-called DeChico file, wherein you authorize the expenditure of $200,000 to apprehend what you believe was an illegal alien from another planet, a spaceman?
Yes, sir, I do remember that case.
So you're telling us you wasted several $100,000 unsuccessfully chasing one individual?
Seedling leans over and whispers something to his two staffers, which sends them scurrying out of the room.
Actually, there were 2 individuals, Senator, and the case is still open. I never said on the record that they were spacemen, but I believe when we make that apprehension, the expense will be well justified.
Cut to a door, close up with a sign. Deputy Commissioner INS. This is pushed open Interior Seedling's new office day. A larger, better appointed, wood-paneled suite with red leather upholstery. Seedling storms into the office, furiously throwing his briefcase into the corner. He is followed by quavering aides who carry armloads of files.
I can't believe my promotion is being held up by that piece of crap DeChico case. Put the whole file back into the system. Flag it at red levels. That guy is out there somewhere, and he's going to make a mistake. When he does, we'll nail him.
He angrily slapped the contents of the file and they spread over his desk. The composite drawings, surveillance reports, excuse me, damn, and the Tri-Moon Cone symbol charm from Khoudri's keychain. From this, we dissolve too. Exterior Beldar's new car, Saturn, driver's dock, day. Sign on the side, the same Tri-Moon and Cone symbol with lettering, Meep Zor Precision Discount Driving School. Become an expert easily. New hands-on dual controls. Pilot precision method. Low rates. Cash only. Be Conehead. Professor. Oh, proprietor, I guess. Interior Saturn, day. Beldar is in the passenger seat with his arms folded. His client, Gladys Johnson, is overly cautious and nervous.
Oh, Beldar, I just know I'm going to fail this test again. Maybe if I have one more lesson with you tomorrow.
Mrs. Johnson, I think you and I both know I have taught you everything there is about guiding this craft.
Yes, I know. It's as if you've controlled me completely.
Exterior Saturn, day. It changes lanes. The curb side of the road is under construction and marked with a row of highway cones.
There are infrastructure reparations on our right. Proceed with caution.
Anything you say.
She clips a cone with a front bumper.
You know, I like it when you watch me drive.
She clips another cone.
Sometimes I feel as if you've been instructing me all my life.
A trio of cones gets crushed. Exterior parking lot, Meep Zor Driving Academy, day. The Saturn pulls in and parks. Interior Saturn, day.
I just don't think I'm ready for the test yet.
He leans into her eyes at inordinately close range.
Gladys, look at me.
On them, close up.
Oh, yes?
I am your teacher. You are my student. It is natural that you harbor certain feelings for me as your driving instructor. But you must understand, nothing can come of this.
Well, if that's the way you feel, I suppose. I understand.
She gets out of the car with a tear in her eye.
$58, please.
You are one of the finest men I have ever met.
Beldar nods patiently and accepts the money.
When my species comes to rule your planet, your name will be on the protected scrolls, and you will come to no harm.
You're wise. There's a sadness to your wisdom.
Cut to exterior Coneheads' house, night. Ronnie's Camaro pulls up. The engine turns off. The lights go out, but no one gets out of the car. Interior Camaro, night. Ronnie snuggles in, puts his arm around Connie, and slowly brings his hand up along her ear to her temple.
Ronnie, don't. Please, don't.
He stops moving his hand.
When, Connie, you know how I feel. I won't say anything to anyone.
He brings his hand up to the base of her cone and leans in with a series of playful nips. She lets out an involuntary moan.
Oh, stop, Ronnie. I'm not ready.
Oh, you're ready.
He puts both hands on her cone and starts to lick above her forehead. Ugh. Connie grabs both his wrists and with super cone floor splings his arms back so that he hits the driver's door.
Good night, Ronnie.
She gets out. Interior Coneheads' house, night. Connie enters and sees her mother reading magazines in the living room.
Greetings, young one. How was your date?
Dad was right. Earth boys only care about one thing.
You mean Ronnie was behaving like a flared nep?
Flared nep.
An unabide grasper of cone masher, a hustler.
Beldar is doing bills on his PC at the dining room table and is sitting straight up in his chair, wide-eyed, having overheard everything.
Learn it.
Interior Ronnie's Camaro, night. He is in the process of putting the car in gear and driving off. Pressing the gas pedal, he realizes he is not moving. Looking up, he sees something in the rear view mirror. His POV, Beldar is holding back the car by its rear bumper, causing the tires to spin and smoke. Exterior Ronnie's Camaro, night. Beldar comes around to Ronnie.
Hi, Mr. Coneheader.
Beldar grabs the front left corner of the car's roof and peels it back like a sardine can.
I find you unacceptable.
Yes, sir.
If I did not fear incarceration by human authority figures, I would terminate your life functions by applying sufficient pressure to your blunt skull to cause its collapse.
Thank you.
Interior Coneheads living room night. Beldar re-enters.
Do not worry about the flare and dap, Ronnie. You will not see him within the Laurel Hills quadrant again.
I can't believe you did that. You ruined my life.
Young one, when we return to Remulac, all this will seem like...
I don't care about Romuluk. That stupid Star Cruiser is never coming anyway.
She exits upstairs.
But she said... I thought...
I will attend to the young one.
As she exits, Beldar returns to his PC, mumbling and cursing to himself, and Remulac looking very confused. Interior Connie's bedroom night, a typical teenage girl's bedroom, slightly messy. Among the posters on the wall are Luke Perry, Spin Doctors, One World, One Choice, Star Trek, Next Generation, Sugarloaf Mountain. Connie is lying on the bed facing the wall. Prymaat knocks politely on the door with a rapid cone knock.
Come in.
Close up Connie's face on the pillow. A few electric green tears roll down her cheek onto a wet green stain on the pillow. Prymaat approaches, sits on the bed, and gently puts her hand on Connie.
You know, Connie, I read in a magazine you can talk to me about anything.
Mommy, why does it feel like... What does it feel like to have a home?
Well,
what does it feel like to home?
for me, it was the first time. It happened so fast. I hardly knew I had honed at all. Oh, my young one, your cone is changing and you feel unsure.
Oh, you've been married to Daddy so long. How do you know what it's like?
I was a young cone myself once. Before I met Beldar, I was very attached to a very strong Thracian forger. And as far as I was concerned, there was no other life force in the universe that mattered. But then he got a job working in a volcano complex on some moon in the Bottomus cluster. I never saw him again, and it broke my blood valve chamber. I got over it, and it all worked out for the best because I met your father.
Wow, I love you, Mom.
The currents of cruel bonding between you and your parental units are infinite.
Prymaat touches her cone tipped at Connie's. Cut to interior Springsteen High School swimming pool complex. Jesus, can't I read? Day. A big splash as a student diver enters the water. The crowd in the bleachers applauds politely. A diving meet is in progress.
So you must visualize it first while concentrating fully. You execute a 1.5 flip with a twist and have the head and the body enter the water with as small splash as possible.
Connie ascends the tower. Beldar and Prymaat in the crowd. Beldar nods and gives Connie an encouraging look. The school principal is in the crowd behind them. And she leans to talk. Very cool. You must be so proud of Connie. She's very popular, an outstanding student. You must have started her reading at a young age.
Correct. We are firm believers in prenatal absorption of great literary works. In France.
I don't think I've ever seen you at the PTA meetings. I'm sure I would have remembered you. Are you on any committees yet? Beldar groans under his breath. On the high diving board, Connie performs the dive perfectly, her cone perpendicular to the water. There is no splash. Huge cheer from the bleachers. Ronnie watches her admiringly. Coach and Connie. She gets out of the pool and the coach puts a towel around her.
That was terrific. You've got one more dive.
It's a terrible Ellen. They pass where Ronnie's sitting. He gets up to talk to her.
You were great. I'm sorry about the other night. I was a real jerk off, okay?
She ignores him and walks away. Beldar, Prymaat, and the school principal. Connie's our best hope for the state championship finals.
Correct. We believe this also.
You know, we still need parent volunteers for the homecoming committee. Prymaat and Beldar look at each other.
Homecoming.
Homecoming. Home.
Coming.
Coming.
Home.
Home.
Homecoming.
Coming. Homecoming.
Exterior Sea off Florida Keys Day. Extreme close-up electronic loud hailer bullhorn.
Lay by and put about. Lay by and put about.
Wanting to reveal it is Seedling.
Attention. Return to your port of embarkation.
A rusty, small-size, iron-bottom tramp steamer tosses in the bright azure waters, the deck overflowing with Haitian refugees. Coast Guard cutter, top deck. This is Seedling's vantage as he stands haranguing the refugees in his blue nylon INS warm-up jacket. Lettering above his left-hand pocket declares him to be Deputy Commissioner Seedling. He has a different kind of vacuum puff hairstyle, graying a bit and wears wire eyeglasses now.
There is no work for you in the United States. You have no job skills. You'll be a drag on our economy. We appreciate your situation, but we have problems of our own.
A Coast Guard commander comes up.
Deputy Commissioner Seedling, a fax on the secure channel for you.
The Coast Guardsman hands him an envelope. Seedling opens it and takes out close-up. Fax. It is a colored laser copy of a sheet from the new Yellow Pages phone directory for East Central New Jersey. It is stamped in red, US, DOJ, INS, DC Seedling ongoing file, graphic scan, search, comparison similarity, conical symbol. New Publishing Central, NJ, NY, NEX, commercial directory page, 1367 driving schools. There is a Yellow Pages style commercial art picture of Beldar's fleet. Meet Zor Driving School, now 5 brand new Saturns, dual control cars, college-educated instructors, and the Meepzor cluster symbol from the Star Cruiser egress card on Seedling, close. He looks up, the sea spraying across his glinting, determined look.
Take me to the radio room.
Cut to interior Beldar and Prymaat's bedroom night. 2-shot, Beldar and Prymaat are in bed. From the looks of things, Prymaat has adapted their lives to Earth standards. The Slarpad is now a bed with a headboard which has been cut out to accommodate their cones. Beldar is reclined with the covers pulled up. Prymaat reads a McCall's magazine with Julia Roberts on the cover.
Is the light keeping you awake?
No.
Prymaat flips a page or two. Then Prymaat sighs heavily. Beldar says nothing. Prymaat sighs again. Beldar rolls his eyes in her direction.
Your breathing has become erratic. A Torg for your thoughts.
I am touched about Connie, or troubled about Connie. I fear that her relationship with Ronnie is unresolved.
It is finished, Prymaat. I am sure. Now rest well.
I said she has still strong feelings for him.
She will get over those feelings as she will get over his feelings for her. Believe me, all male feelings eventually die or mutate. And when there is another available female, he will go to her. Now I must rest.
So, this is the way with all males? Beldar? Are you connected with me?
Why should I not be? Please, I would now like to enter my Slar phase.
Let us suppose for some reason my life function ceased. What would you do?
I would incinerate your carcass in the tradition of Odavar and put it in a clean, dry place.
No, I mean you. What would you do? Would you find a new genetomy? Would your male feelings mutate for the next available female? Would you find a younger mate to bring to our gust chamber and propagate?
My most precious one. I would collapse. I would draw the shades and live in the dark. I would never get out of my Slar pad or clean myself. My fluids would coagulate, my cone would shrivel, and I would die. Miserable and lonely. The stench would be great.
Oh, Beldar, you've made me very happy.
Yes, I know. Good night.
The camera pulls back and rotates. We see that the colonial bed is actually mounted against the wall. A cone Slarp pad. The grass knoll. Exterior. Shit. Strike that and reverse it. Anyway, it's daytime. A cone appears above the horizon and there is a loud thwack, followed by a spray of sand.
Nibs!
Exterior golf course, clubhouse turn day. Beldar finally blasts his way out of a sand bunker. He walks out and joins Larry on the move.
So, Conan, if I sink this one, I'm 4 behind you at the turn.
Incorrect. 5 behind. You lost a stroke when your ball dropped into the fluid mass.
We see Ronnie caddying for a visiting quest. Guest.
Hi, Mr. Conehead. Way to blast out of the bunker, huh? It's me, Ronnie. I hope you didn't cut yourself when you tore open my car. I'm fine.
Yes, no problem. Thank you. Goodbye.
Beldar ignores him and sinks a putt. Exterior course next tee day. Beldar tees up.
How's your daughter, Connie?
Kids, get those clubs over here.
Hey, Mr. Conehead, I'm miserable. Feel so bad for what I did. It's like somebody's ripping my guts out. She won't take my call.
Beldar has his back to Ronnie and laughs to himself, enjoying this.
Kid, I'm not paying you to yak. Hey, you, what's with the head?
Forget him. He's not a member.
Beldar swings and launches the ball, tearing out a divot the size of a turkey platter. Close-up magazine cover, red book. The Sex Diet, Rekindling Passion After 40. 17 ways to put the magic back into marriage. How to keep him interested. A hand reaches in, picks this up, and tosses it into shopping basket. Other magazines with similar subject matter are piled atop a mound of Eggos and dental floss. Prymaat pushes her cart along automatically and turns a corner. Extreme close-up through telephoto lens. Sound effects, motor drive. The tri-moon and cone symbol on the door of the driving school car. The shot moves to capture exterior Walmart day. Prymaat getting into the car, interior lockers. Men's shower room day. Beldar recognizes other members.
Harv, Ron, how are you?
Beldar, what's happening?
Hey, Conehead, how's it going?
Fine. I am fine.
He undresses. Interior shower room wide day. Several men are taking a shower. We see Beldar enter naked from behind. His rear is a solid, round, rumpulous expanse of smooth, pink, shaved skin with no crease or crack and two spotted giraffe-like nobules above each glute. As Beldar passes some other men, one looks down at what's in front and his expression betrays that he has just glanced for a second at something unusual. Interior Coneheads kitchen day. Close-up 6-slice toaster with lit candles on top. Beldar enters with his golf club and finds that the whole room is filled with glowing lit tapers. He goes to the fridge to find a note on the door. Note, consume alcohol beverage, come get me. Beldar gives out a puzzle and opens the door to discover a fishbowl with bluish liquid, lots of cherries, and a mini parasol.
Yeah, Mai Tai. I will enjoy it.
Yeah. He leaves the kitchen and enters interior living room day. He follows the path of candles and sees a gallon jar of baby oil. Prymaat posed seductively on the sofa wearing sexy lingerie and garter belt on her cone.
Greetings, Earthman.
Hi, how are you?
It's good to hone in places other than guest chamber before Slurface.
Who said?
Ladies' Home Journal.
And he comes out like a roar. Beldar bolts back his drink. His cone exhibits a singular ripple like it swallowed something. Interior surveillance truck day. Down the Conehead street, a couple of INS agents are taking pictures of the house and recording the activities within. Oh, good volt. Close up, sound meters, SFX. Home love sounds. The noises from the amorous Coneheads are driving the needles into the red zone. Agent tears off his headphones.
What are they doing in there?
The phone rings and the other agent picks it up.
Com Deck 3, go ahead. Yes, sir, we've got them. Roger. I understand. That was Seedling. His plane lands at Teterboro in 10 minutes. He says send in the special analysis unit now.
Sorry. Interior Conehead's living room day. Beldar and Prymaat lying on the floor against the sofa. Their cones still glow red and pulse faintly. Beldar is smoking an entire pack of cigarettes.
That was very acceptable.
Sound effects, the door buzzer.
The portal announcer. You get it.
Beldar pulls on his robe and Prymaat whirls once very rapidly to blow out the candles. Interior Coneheads front hall doorway day. An African-American woman, Agent Delglesse, and a man, Agent Turnbull, are on the front step. They are both wearing black suits.
Greetings.
Are you Mr. Conehead?
Conehead, yes, I am Beldar. Who are you? Identify yourself.
I'm Eli Turnbull, and this is Agent Sylvia Delglesse. We're with the Internal Revenue Service, and we'd like to ask you a few questions if you don't mind.
Very well. Enter.
Interior Conehead's living room day. Prymaat has changed clothes.
My wife, Prymaat.
He laughs nervously at his own small talk.
Set. I will prepare for you the customary host edibles for strangers invited into the domicile.
No, thanks. The reason we're here is that we have some tax questions.
Proceed.
It says here that you're currently self-employed with your own driving school business.
Correct.
And last year you had a net income of $75,000, all cash, on which, after personal and business deductions, you paid $20,000 tax.
Correct. 20,000 too much?
Prymaat enters with a metal table on caster wheels bearing 5 packs of potato chips, packs of beer, candy bars, Tang foil pack juice pouches, peanuts, pretzels, snack items of every description.
Enjoy, strangers, as we provide you with customary offering. We invite you to consume the apportioned quantities.
Beldar starts in eating a whole bag of chips and drinking a 6-pack. I just had lunch, thanks.
No, thanks.
The two investigators exchange a look of trepidation. Prymaat picks up a couple of Tang jars and pops the lids off, pouring the powder into her gaping mouth.
You like that Tang, the breakfast drink the astronauts took to the moon.
Astronauts to the moon.
Astronauts to the moon?
Okay, back to taxes. Now, according to our records, you only began filing income taxes in 1985. Where were you before that? Where did you come from?
France. We come from France.
Yes, France.
I take it your daughter was born here.
Yes, she is native to your country.
Et vous parlez encore ici en Amérique, le français?
Oui, absolument. Mais c'est difficile de passer quand on va dire. Et sur le secrétaire français quand on est dans New Jersey.
Et vous aussi?
Oui, voulez consommer après quantité en masse.
Connie enters the front door into the living room.
Bonjour, mommy, daddy.
Bonjour. Je fais lit.
Connie exits upstairs. Interior Coneheads upstairs hallway day. Connie is walking to her room as she passes a door behind which is loud electronic beeping and waveband shrieks. She opens the door to Interior Coneheads extra bedroom day, a room not in use, storage only, piled high with paper, boxes of stocking caps, magazines, and a shape under a dust-covered sheet, which is winking and pulsing with chasing lights. The Communicator, Scarlab, Modtribium, Beldar. Prymaat takes the sheet off and sees, or maybe I'm guessing Connie? Connie takes the sheet off and sees fleeting multicolored hash waves. Connie drops her books and runs downstairs. Interior Conehead's living room day. The investigators are asking questions.
Now, what's this 30 ounces of titanium powder order?
Connie enters.
Dad, phone call for you.
Please inform the caller I am mid-conversation with 2 human authority figures and will return his call at my next earliest convenience.
The big phone, Daddy? Upstairs? The one you never use?
Big phone? There is no such device. Big phone.
Lifts Turnbull out of his chair.
Thank you. I hope humans enjoyed your visit. You must come again sometime. Now you are leaving.
Actually, we're not finished with our questioning. You see, there's the matter of the social security number you've been using. It doesn't exist.
I think you are done with your questioning.
Turnbull pulls out his IRS ID badge and credentials.
No, I don't think so, Mr. Conehead. I'm a federal agent.
Beldar gets super close to him.
Am I under arrest?
No, not yet, but you will be if you don't cooperate.
Beldar grabs, takes a bite out of, and chews and eats a piece of the agent's credentials, hands him back the remnants, picks him up by the collar and seat of his pants for a classic bums rush out the front door. Prymaat escorts the lady agent out the same way. They slam the door on the intruders. Interior Coneheads live extra bedroom day. Beldar, Prymaat, and Connie are in front of the communicator. The Remulac communication system logo and alien easy listening music comes up, and then the image depicts on the communicator a chair on a platform with Aura Cruiser interior in the background, blue screen. Aha, got it. Anyway, a captain sits robed in the control seat. He is the real Captain Hazelwaalgh of Exxon Valdez, now in Cone.
Greetings, Beldar. I am Captain Hazelwaalgh, speaking to you from aboard the Remulacan Krogalumium fighter Tizamon Clarisis. Has just entered your solar system, and you've been your orbital coordinates with 1/6 of your planet, the urinal rotation.
4 hours.
Nibs? Urgent warning. Human authority figures have discovered our identity and will become increasingly difficult to avoid capture. Do not delay.
Interior surveillance truck day. The agents, they're recording everything. Interior Conehead's bedroom day. Close-up communicator screen.
Keep your Faraday crystal on tracking plus, and we will retrieve you from your location.
Pulse.
Did you
The
mean
device shuts off.
Pulse?
Yeah.
At last, our rescue vessel is coming. My young one, you will finally see the joys of your home planet.
Ronnie, I've got to call Ronnie.
Irrational, unacceptable, impossible. You will tell no one. We must not be separated. It is essential we all near the tracking crystal when the moment arrives.
It is urgent we continue with our social obligations so as not to arouse suspicion. In this matter, we must defer to Father's judgment. The Belthark is about to hit the spinning Cranor.
Cut to interior surveillance truck down the street from the Coneheads house day.
He ate my badge.
Seedling looks at the chewed up piece of ID Turnbull hands him and then back at him. He and a couple other agents in SWAT gear have maps of Jersey, the county, town, street, and house lot marked off and surrounded in a cluster of red, yellow, and black pins, all spread out on the hood of the truck and blown up. Surveillance photos of Beldar and his family, along with blueprinted anatomical cross-sections of what they might look like, dissected.
Well, what do you think? Are they from another planet?
If they're not, we should nuke France right away. We just heard they're planning an escape in 4 hours with the assistance of others. We'll be there to catch the lot of them.
Sir, this might be bigger than us. Shouldn't we alert the Pentagon?
No, this is the greatest bag in the history of the service. I want to handle it in person.
Interior Connie's bedroom night. She is lying on the bed, crying into her pillow, a picture of Ronnie on the night table beside her. Beldar enters.
May I enter?
No, go away.
He quietly pulls up a chair, sits next to her, and gently strokes her cone.
Oh, my precious young cone. My infinitely valuable incarnation of a being greater than all others to me who share your molecular fibers and waveforms. You believe I am unaware of your feelings about our emulate return to Remulac. It is not true. My pain has been grievous, watching you grow up on this savage planet, your young optic receptacles having never absorbed the sacred peaks of our snap, the crater of Kuldroth, the Maganized Labyrinth, never having chewed the gelato spheres at the Festival of Ultimus, tasted a Garthok, nor touched the mane of a brazen keeper of the Clerk.
I know, Daddy. I would like to see all those things with you. But I know you don't believe me that I'm in love with Ronnie.
Beldar emitted that painful primal cone groan like a lowing cow being squeezed in a vice.
If you really do care and understand you want me to return with you, you must realize I have to say goodbye to Ronnie.
If it is important to you, I accept it. But be sure Ronnie understands the needs for secrecy, because our life threads hang in the Brandrax.
Thanks, Daddy. I love you. I'll be back at the pre-designated hour.
They touch cones. Cut to close-up, blue and gold jersey. BSH, Springsteen High, will widen to reveal it is one in a line of 8. They are kicking and thrashing pom-poms. Exterior Springsteen High field. Sunset. The stands are filled for an autumn game. Pan along the line of cheerleaders silhouetted against the setting sun. The last one in the line is Connie Conehead.
Springsteen High, set, ready, go. Let's go. Born to run, our receivers are born to run. Push them back, shove them back, Cadillac Ranch.
The circle finally assembling into a pyramid with Connie at the apex. The crowd cheerleaders are yelling, "Born in the USA. Born in the USA." I had to do it once, I'm sorry. Anyway, the field wide dusk. Music, marching bands, devil with a blue dress.
Ladies and gentlemen, Springsteen's homecoming queen and her court.
The queen dances in a blue mini dress. The crowd applauds.
Now, for your halftime entertainment, the Springsteen High Volunteer Homecoming Gala Committee, headed by Mr. Beldar Conehead, presents a display of amateur fireworks.
Section of the crowd, they are less than enthusiastic. Beldar and the fire marshal. Beldar smokes a large cigar, which he touches to the fuse of a single rocket.
Careful there, Conehead.
The fuse burns down and the rocket leaves its tube with a glowing hiss. Exterior field, wide night. The rocket trail reaches its zenith, and here is a small pop of red, white, and blue sparkles and smoke. Then there is another mini fizzle and nothing. There is a beat of 3 seconds. Beldar and fire marshal.
Pretty cheap, Conehead.
Beldar puts on a pair of black opaque goggles. Exterior field, crowd, and sky wide night met. Suddenly, the sky above and all around a 2 square mile area is split vertically and horizontally by an ear-splitting explosive clap, accompanied by a pink and white triple-tiered fission fusion type blast, which bends both the goalposts. The crowd, as they feel the effects of the reverse concussive draft, and their hair is sucked forward, hats and gloves taken off, and then suffer the second heat wind, which fills the air with debris, blows everything back, and gives everyone a reddish instant tan. They all now sit stunned and silent under a rain of blackened carbonous flakes, and then they applaud wildly. Yeah! Beldar and fire marshal.
Cigar.
Extreme close-up, Beldar through telephoto lens, sound effects, motor drive. Interior surveillance truck night.
He's armed.
Cut to Prymaat and Lisa in cocktail dresses.
You're moving tonight.
So creepy. Interior country club ballroom bar night. Beldar and Larry are in white dinner jackets.
Well, I guess when you get the call to the driver for the president of France, you gotta go.
You may keep my Toro multi-ride lawn master with snowplow attachment.
Sorry I never got your boat back to you. I still have to repair that leak.
Forget it. Keep it.
At least let me give you a couple $100.
No. Your money is no good in France.
Can we drive you to the airport to pick up your car? Your car. I don't think I was heard.
Apologies. Don't worry. It will be picked up.
And don't you worry about your house. I'll keep the lawn cut, the garden weeded, and those raspberry canes trimmed back.
Connie and Ronnie, they are on the dance floor. A Pearl Jam cut is playing, and Ronnie is a great dancer. Beldar gets her attention, points to his watch, and mouths, "Time to go." The song ends. Connie comes over to him.
Ronnie will drive me home, Daddy. I'll meet you there.
No, he is not, young lady.
She bolts with Ronnie. Beldar gets up from the bar and follows.
You come back here.
While he's trying to cut his way through the crowd to catch her, he gets caught by...
Now, our homecoming queen's spotlight dance.
Beldar, frozen in spotlight. He tries to shield himself from the glare like an escaped prisoner. The homecoming queen takes him by the hands as a rock and metal dance cut by Megadeth comes up.
Come on, Mr. Conehead.
Lisa and Prymaat watches as Beldar launches into a hyper auto animatronic cone twirling dance.
I don't believe I've ever seen Beldar dance before.
It doesn't happen very often. He dissects a mean floor piece.
Connie, embarrassed by her father's hyper gyrations, she exits with Ronnie. Beldar is now enjoying himself and must be dragged off the floor by his wife. Exterior Coneheads house night. Ronnie's Camaro is parked out front at the curb. The glow of multiple candles emanates from inside the living room curtains. Extreme close-up, a tongue on skin. It stays there, moving down, down, down for far too long until it discovers a nose. Ronnie and Connie, a sensuous scene occurs. Their clothes are slightly unbuttoned.
Ronnie, it's true. My cone is zoned for you.
Interior Saturn night, Beldar and Prymaat. They see a couple of gray trucks following them. The purple homing crystal begins to glow and pulse in Prymaat's hands. Interior gray truck night.
Keep a neutral distance. Sail off the block.
Interior Conehead's house night, Connie and Ronnie. She produces and ceremoniously hands him a senso ring. He kisses it tenderly and lowers it onto her cone. At least they're using protection. Exterior Conehead street night. The Saturn screeches into the driveway. Garage door opens. Car enters. Door closes behind. Interior Conehead's house night. Connie and Ronnie. 2 senso rings have now been placed on her cone, and one on Ronnie's head. He is drenched in sweat. A Guns N' Roses ballad plays. Suddenly, the lights come on, revealing her parental unit standing in the doorway to the living room. Connie's blouse is open, but she covers her cone.
Ah! Senso rings! Where did you get those?
Under your bed.
Unacceptable. Your cone is too young. Get up, you're going to Remulac right now.
Can Ronnie come?
Yeah, I'll go too.
Impossible. Undesirable. Inadvisable.
Exterior Conehead's house night. The agents are arriving and parking out front. Interior gray truck night. They'll see us for sure now. What about the others in the ring?
Forget the others. We can't risk losing those 3. Take them now.
Seedling leaping out to lean across a truck hood with his bullhorn.
It's over, Conehead. Come out with your hand up. You're under arrest.
There is a long pause accompanied by silence and darkness from within the house. Suddenly, there is a sound of blown mufflers as cut to exterior Conehead's garage door night. The Harley with sidecar and 3 helmeted cone splinters and smashes through the door.
They're going for it. Get them.
2 trucks chase the Harley. Exterior suburban street night. The Harley speeds along. A gray surveillance truck pulls out in front of the bike to block the street. The bike attempts to turn and jump the curb, but instead tips and dumps, causing what looks like the sidecar occupant's helmeted head to roll into the road. The helmeted head, it is a long gourd from Beldar's garden with a helmet on it. Ronnie gets up, recovers, and 2 agents grab him.
We've been suckered. It's the boyfriend.
Interior truck night. Seedling hears this, slams on the brakes, and turns to go back to exterior the Conehead's house night. Saturn bursts out through the rest of the garage door into the street. Exterior opening of Conehead's cul-de-sac night. As the Saturn reaches this point, 3 gray trucks, one of which is Seedling's, block their exit, causing Beldar to execute a tire-screeching 180. Beldar's car speeds away towards the dead end, and finding himself trapped again, he pulls another 180, whipping the car around to face Seedling.
I've got you now, Conehead.
He starts to walk towards the Saturn. At this moment, everyone's attention is immediately halted and diverted by a huge circular beam of purple particulate-filled light, which hits the Conehead's car and engulfs it completely. The agents, Ronnie, all look up to see the ore cruiser. Source of the light, a massive dark shape the size of the Queen Mary, hovers a couple 100 feet above the whole neighborhood. It hums quietly, but with immense throbs of power. The Saturn is now being levitated, its wheels now inches off the ground. Exterior sky, the ore cruiser Night. It is a knobbled, rusted, black vanadium saucer-shaped ore tanker. The Exxon Valdez of Remulac, with chasers, strobes, aerials, conical housings for liquid fuel carrying pulsers. Carrying pulsers, blinkers, chasers, and a hatch which is opening up to fill the ground below and levitating Beldar's car with an iridescent light. Interior Saturn night. Connie sees Ronnie being apprehended by INS agents.
I love you, Ronnie.
Under the immense pulsing hums from the ship, he doesn't hear. Beldar's car, 4 feet off the ground and slowly pivoting in the grip of the tractor beam. Seedling runs up and grasps the bumper. The Saturn travels up the inside of the intertwining purple and green tractor beam with Seedling hanging on. The agents see the Saturn and Seedling being sucked up above them, hanging from the car bumper, legs dangling.
You're not getting away. I won't let you. You're not leaving before I...
Exterior sky or cruiser night. The beam retracts instantly with its passengers and the vessel banks up into the night sky and is gone upward out of sight in an instant. Exterior planet Earth night. Cameras slowly pulls away. Interior ore cruiser bridge night. Connie watching Earth disappearing below her and looking really dejected.
I was wrong about the human Ronnie. He was not a Flarendep.
The captain.
This is the ship's captain. We are almost ready to go to the Mega Lion Surge.
I believe in you, Travis. The Conehead family takes their seats. Seedling can be seen in the background inside a specimen jar in his shorts, socks, and Oxfords, his chin resting on his hand. He is up to his neck in green brine.
Secure your form chair fasteners. We'll initiate surge as soon as we get past the only moon of this planet.
There's a huge crunch and a shudder. The Coneheads react with concern. Exterior moon with Earth in background night. The ore cruiser has taken a chunk from the side of the moon, knocking massive asteroid-sized chunks of rock into new lunar orbits. Interior the bridge night.
No problem. We've successfully passed the moon and are preparing now for the Metalagan drive.
You mean the Mentaglian?
That too.
From the Conehead family's uncertain looks, camera moves across the instrument panel into a spinning vortex screen, dissolved to close-up Connie's face later. She is asleep. A steaming towel roll on the end of a set of prongs is thrust in front of her nose, awakening her. She takes the towel and dabs her face with it. Behind the captain's mate, a cone bruiser. Through the ship's viewing screen can be seen formations of pink clouds. The Conehead family. Beldar finishes eating his towel. They all react wide-eyed as the clouds clear and we approach. Music swells. Exterior Remulac. Planet surface at 1,000 feet as seen through the ore cruiser's windows day. The ore cruiser travels above a seething civilization, highly industrialized, dominated by one massive hive-like conical structure. There are occasional purple, pink, azure, and aqua pools of glistening substances. Interior Port Authority of Remulac day. A long, low, pink fluorescent lit cement rampway. It is filled with every kind of Conehead traveler, black, white, oriental, Asian, all colors and races, some in brocaded robes, some in rags, all carrying bags and luggage. Homeless cones harass people. Oh, hey, it's just like Port Authority. Anyway, buskers play music. Jets of steam come out at random places along the tunnel. The Conehead family, Beldar, Prymaat, and Connie walk along the flow. A muscular porter pushes a cart with Seedling encased in a clear plastic evidence bag with a Remulacan label. Remulacian, there we go, label. The Conehead, I just already said that. They look tired from their journey at an interesting intersecting tunnel. That too. They see various other cones waiting with illegible signs. Standing there for a while, looking around, they realize no one has come to meet them.
Were they not supposed to pick us up?
Computer malfunction. I sent the deep spacegram. Perhaps they did not receive it. Don't bite my comb off. I will call them.
This is my home planet? Ugh, get me out of here, Dad.
Nibs. This is the only landing. This is only the landing port. It is not the most beautiful place here. You'll see.
Prymaat inserts her forehead, eyes, nose, mouth, and chin into one of a row of full Visusim face holders with a finger hole beside each one. Interior, her parents' alien living room day, a seating arrangement with a window behind it through which can be seen the stark angular cement housing development outside. The phone rings. The parents enter Rard and Laarta and push a button. Prymaat's face appears, but only the outline from the ears forward.
Prymaat, my daughter, greetings. You have arrived safely. Correct, we are the landing port. Were you not supposed to pick us up? Did you not get my deep spacegram?
Yes, we did. Did you not get our deep space gram saying we couldn't pick you up?
No.
Exterior hovering crab line. Day. The Conehead family comes out and gets into one. The driver and porter tie the wide-eyed, mouth agape, cryonically suspended seedling onto the back rack of the cab. The graphic on the side of the taxi depicts indecipherable cone writing. The porter sticks out a device into which Prymaat inserts her finger. He thanks her for tip. Larpale. The cab pulls out and exits. Interior Bard and Laarta's dining room. Day. Prymaat, Beldar, and Connie are having dinner with the parents. A spherical white flame emanates from a pipe in the center of the table. They each have a poker into which they skewer and roast variously shaped, unidentifiable pieces of vegetable and animal matter.
Favor me again, Beldar. How is it possible to lose a fully ignited star cruiser in a hydrogen mass?
Yes, my mate's progenitor. There were iridium particles in the Vanunglian drive.
Oh, now I see. Particles in the magno chamber. Uh-huh. That's the Twilderfish.
Tomorrow is the first festival day of Meepzor. We would do well to remember Beldar's time of triumph exactly 14 Zerls ago. Tackling the greased Garthok and saving the Malgium sisters from sacrifice.
Ah, yes, an accomplishment truly recognized by all cones. Since then, there's been a Marlax, Scrubleon, and else there have been several. As one looks at this list, one can see it's not always the most intelligent cone who tackles the greased Garthok. You never did it.
Connie, you will be pleased to know that, as is the custom, your grand progenitor and I have selected your chosen life genetomate.
Yeah?
What? Affirmative, Prymaat. We have fulfilled our discrete responsibilities as grand progenitors and spared nothing to obtain a fine young cone from a very good family. Connie and he are to be one of the first couples among the married thugs at the festival cauldron.
If he realizes his full work potential at Butumius Premium Limited, you are assured to find Gus chamber on the edge of the Sethane Sea.
Marriage? You freaks? What am I, some kind of hamster? Thanks a lot. I really appreciate the help.
She gets up from the table and runs out of the chamber. What was that tone she was using at the conclusion of her statement? It seemed to make the words mean the opposite of what she was saying.
It's a form of Earth speech called sarcasm.
Sarcasm. Sarcasm. Was he not a Turkusian minister?
Permit me to absent from the flame table. I must return tomorrow to protoid sectioning for resumption of my former chamber assignment. Gaz is necessary. May your cones all find the black-green vortex.
Until our two suns rise then. Good night, Beldar.
He stops and they exchange a look. He responds in kind to her Earth salutation.
Good night.
They touch cones, dissolve to exterior protoid fuel headquarters day, a large hive-like conical structure dominating the skyline of the city. The two suns rise? Both. A siren moans atop a speaker column in the foreground. Cut to Beldar close-up morning. There are other cones behind and on either side of him. Widened to reveal he is standing shoulder to shoulder with several hundred cone office workers on a post-Orwellian negative utopia beltway carrying 100 of the beings into a massive maw. Everyone is talking at once in cone, and there are loud, obnoxious, unintelligible announcements coming from speakers. Interior Beldar's work cubicle day. There is no window. It is a small antiseptic in grayish-white in color. It is small antiseptic and grayish-white in color. Yay. He sits behind a cramped desk, slack-jawed with stultifying boredom. A harsh buzzer sounds inches from his ear, and an item pops up into the pneumatic receptor tube in front of him. He takes it, opens it, compares it with a chart on his desk, signs off on it, and puts it into another tube. He waits 15 seconds in a slack-jawed stupor, and then the cycle begins again. His secretary enters. She is a really elderly, sun-wizened cone woman.
Your supervisor, Marlax, wishes to see you now.
Marlax enters.
Greetings, Beldar. It's me, your old friend and now supervisor, Marlax.
Greetings, Marlax. How are you?
I am fine. I control this entire sub-complex now. The new mate and I have a nice goose chamber on the 7th sea. Like to have you and what was her name?
Prymaat.
Correct. Prymaat. Still with her, huh? She had a good-looking cone on her.
Affirmative. We are still life mates.
You know, once you had seriously blundered and allowed your star cruiser to be disabled, I have to admire the way you survived on that primitive planet. What was it? Earth? With a single moon? I mean, how does a stranded fuel underlord get along in such a place? Must have been tough.
Affirmative, Supervisor Marlax. Tough. Anything else?
Just one more thing so that you and I have a perfect understanding. You had your chance. If it had been me as the originally designated fuel underlord for Earth, that planet would have been enslaved 7 Zerls ago. You used the influence of your mate's father to alter the appointment and put yourself in my place. So now just remember whose cone you have to kiss.
He exits. The buzzer sounds again in Beldar's ear, and another item pops up into the tube on his desk. The secretary hands him a laboratory beaker with black liquid inside it, and an unappetizing cone-shaped sweet roll.
Your cone, swirl, and bean pulp.
Ugh. He shudders with disgust at his situation.
I had forgotten about these.
Cut to exterior cone backyard day, the Saturn car from the ore cruiser. Beldar is cleaning out the trunk. He finds his golf clubs, he pulls out his 7-iron and takes a few swings with it. Connie enters.
Hi, Daddy.
Hi, Connie.
Daddy, are you happy now that we're back?
Yes, we belong here.
I don't feel like we belong here.
Our ways are different. Be patient. Tomorrow is the festival of Meepzor. When you see the moons align, you will understand.
I hope so.
Cut to exterior festival arena night. Wide shot, the stage and throne platform. A huge, steep, natural rock amphitheater surrounds the stage with the throne positioned above a sunken pool full of a purple, bubbling, gelatinous substance. There is a large crowds of cones in attendance. A chorus of 10 bare-breasted, young, beautiful female cone singers combine their angelic voices into a beautiful chorus. All the cones now look skyward. Exterior the sky above the festival arena. Night. 3 crescent moons align themselves almost directly overhead in an impressive display of natural celestial mechanics. Exterior the festival arena. Night. 3 cone divers leap from a platform into the colored gelato pool. Jeez. Below. Beldar, Prymaat, Connie, Rard, and Laarta are in seats halfway up the tiers on the side. Not great seats. Beldar's POV. He sees Marlax many rows down below, sitting with his family, much nearer to the throne platform. Marlax sees Beldar. He turns and waves. Beldar and Prymaat as they try to smile.
Connie, we wish to present you now your mate for the mass marriage throng, so you may know him at the time of joining.
Rard brings forward a tall, young, handsome cone male in brocaded robes, very refined and hunky.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Connie, this is your pre-designated lifetime genetomate, Lerbscrab Chlorhorn.
Hello, greetings. I mean, I'm against this, but wow, he does have a cone on it, doesn't he?
Prymaat nods in agreement.
He comes from he comes from one of the best families.
Greetings, Connie. I hope our offspring will make great contributions to our race.
Thank you.
Lights in the arena dip down. The stage, a colored spotlight hits the Highmaster and his wife. They are in ceremonial robes and proceed to his throne platform, where they both take a seat, and he is handed a thick black book, which he places on a stand and reads from. His opening 3 words, fantastic crown, George. His opening 3 words are interrupted by a loud, shrieking audio feedback. He must start over after an adjustment, and as he does, a rapt silence grips the crowd.
Corpse D, Knife and Pat, Randaziyama, ancient ones, let their nerves be hardened, those who will behold the great cone of Meepzor and her moons. I thank the scraps that we all have our own cone to hone. From Sethane Sea to the Garthok's crystalline lair to the...
There are murmurs in the crowd now as he begins to lose them. Some people get up and go for drinks.
And in the name of Crathnor the Insistent and the Seven Ground, I hereby ignite the Strizia pole commencing the festival of the melted moons.
Throne platform, various cones are in line in front of the Highmaster and his wife, bringing forth gifts, presents, sacrifices in the form of fruits, vegetables, flesh hunks, crystals, gems, strange weapons, and machines. Beldar and Seedling. They're in line to see the throne. The deputy INS commissioner is still in his underwear, socks, and Oxfords, but is now a chromium electronically manacled by collar, cuffs, waist chain, and ankle fasteners. The line moves. Beldar leads him along with a remote leash, and he tries to resist, but Beldar turns a knob on the remote and tightens the electronic grip around the captive's throat, who involuntarily stiffens and marches smartly. Highmaster's POV as Beldar bows, drops to one knee, and offers the remote control leash box to the Highmaster.
Beldar, former fuel overlord for Earth with the gift of a slave from that planet.
The Highmaster accepts the control blocks. He manipulates a couple of dials, causing Seedling to march quickly in a small circle, bend over, touch his toes twice, pirouette, and come to complete attention.
I present to you a human authority figure.
You can do what you want with me. I'm not going to apologize for doing my job. The United States can no longer solve the unemployment problems of the rest of the universe.
There is a buzzing from Beldar's remote, and Seedling gags at the electronic restraint.
Silence, Earth creature. He's perfect for the blood sacrifice to Crathnor.
At your insistence, Highness, may you preside at many such future meddlings of the moons of Meepzor.
He stands and bows, backing out hastily.
Beldar, are you not the protoid refueling emissary that failed to enslave the planet Earth? Surely you must have thousands more slaves where this one came from.
Thundered, vessel destroyed rescue mission. Necessitated extremely costly to mining industry.
Now I recall. Hear me, all citizens of Prymaat. Before me stands an example of why every individual cone must realize his place as contributor to the glory of our civilization and not fail like you, Beldar. May you live long enough to repay a fraction of what you have cost our people.
Connie and Prymaat react to this with shared feelings of embarrassment. Lerbscrab looks around and at Connie in a puzzled manner. Huh?
Next.
Beldar exits, publicly humiliated. Exterior the Coneheads seats halfway up the tiers. Night. Connie, Prymaat, Rard, and Laarta, and Lerbscrab are having refreshments from tubes coming out of the armrests of the seats. One is smoke, one is red fluid, one is green fluid.
I did not know that your male parental unit was one of those who tackled the Grease Garthok way back in Condrel Prymaat.
Oh, yes, but he doesn't like to talk about it very much.
Where is he?
A tone and announcement comes over the loudspeakers.
Ramdrab Garthok. Ramdrab Garthok. Ramdrab Garthok.
Perhaps I will be skilled enough as your father was to succeed in tackling the beast someday, and if this is done, it will be in your honor.
He exits. Exterior Garthok cage. Night. Dozens of male cones have converged around a cage containing a huge, black, long-tusked, snarling, vicious-looking alien boar-like creature. As the younger cones strip down to their loincloths and move into a line in the arena floor, the older cones throw buckets of viscous fluid through the bars onto the animal. Now the older males move to the line of stripped-down, young, lithe, pumped-up, and superbly built males and similarly douse them with buckets of the same fluid used on the Garthok. In the stands, Connie and Prymaat. They watch as the older male cones leave the arena, separating from the line of young cones. Connie is suddenly shocked that one of the stripped and greased contestants is not a young cone, but in fact her very middle-aged, earth-paunched father.
Mummy, is that the Garthok? Daddy's going after that?
Yeah.
Beldar!
Beldar and the young contestants. He is the only out of shape one in the bunch. An announcement comes over the loudspeakers.
Emily, Congorso, Troublous Beldar Garthok from Condrel.
Beldar steps out from the line and acknowledges the crowd, which goes wild. A group of older cones. They go crazy, clearly favoring this long shot. Overaged underdog. Prymaat is pushing her way through the crowd to the edge of the arena, hysterically calling for her mate. Edge of arena / contestants. They are strapping mean-looking razor hooks on the end of strapping mean-looking razor hooks on the end of long staffs. They wrap around their forearms. Prymaat pushes past the crowd to get near the line.
All right, Beldar. I summon you.
He comes over, sticking the hook in his belt.
Has your cone lasted since it is no longer young? You will be killed there. Why are you doing such a thing?
My mate, returning to Remulac has not been as joyous as I had anticipated. Tackling the greased Garthok is a means to ensure that we return to Earth as conquerors. It is the only feat which can restore us to our former status in a single stroke. A long shot, perhaps, but the last one we possess.
But you will perish.
My wife. There is no alternative. I would rather perish than be the object of scorn.
I fear for you.
What I lack in physical prowess, I balance with the knowledge and wisdom of my years. You shall observe.
He goes back to the line of younger contestants as the ushers pull her away and send her to the seats. The Highmaster, he signals for the release of the Garthok. The cage is opened up by older cone ushers. The greased beast leaps out and is, oh my giddy Garthok. Leaps out and is chased by the 50 or so young cones and Beldar through a narrow, low rock archway in the side of the arena wall. Jeez. Interior Garthok Maze Night. It is a small, closed box canyon with obstacles, holes, burrows, boulders, and cactus-like plants with a flaming magma pit at its center. The Garthok enters, chased by the throng of loin-girded, greased cones. Gird your loins! Exterior of the bench, tears, night. The crowd is closely watching the event on huge telescreens. Connie and Prymaat watches Beldar lumbers in through the archway behind all the other contestants. Interior of the maze night. Many young cones grapple and try to tackle the beast, only to be snapped away by its tusks or thrown off of its quilled razorback onto rocks. A young muscular cone manages to jump on and ram his hook into the shoulder of the Garthok. Maddened with pain, the betusked head whips up so violently that it easily tosses the male cone into the magma pit, tearing off his arm, leaving it to dangle under the cinched leash. The hook still embedded in the bloody black shoulder. Crowd and telescreens, they react with a multiple thousand-throated roaring wince of empathy for the lost cone. Telescreen Beldar wide, paying no attention whatsoever to the animal and the chaos nearby. He is appraising an obelisk-like rock formation near the magma pit. Paces distances and makes calculations for no apparent reason. The Garthok, the rimmed black pupiled eyes glow as he prepares to kill the hapless youth. Telescreen, the crowd watches this. In one corner of the giant screen, only the tip of Beldar's cone is visible. The rest is obscured from the telescreen view by a rock. Close up, Beldar behind the rock. He is hunched over, out of sight, his face contorted as he emits strange sounds and bleatings. Garthok is about to gore the youth further when it stops suddenly and cocks its head quizzically, hearing the sounds coming from behind the nearby rock. Beldar continues making the sounds. Widened to reveal, he draws the hook and shaft back over his shoulder. Shuffles his feet into position, takes his stance. He is midway through a backswing with the hook and staff. The befuddled, slack-jawed Garthok stares at him, approaches. God, I'm gonna have nightmares. Beldar and the Garthok, he executes a perfect swing and connects with close-up. Golf ball! It is fired out of frame. Close-up Garthok, as the golf ball travels deep into its throat, the beast is stunned. Wide-eyed and with a series of hacking gags, slowly turns purple. Finally keeling over on its back, legs up in the air. Crowds and telescreens, they leap to their feet in a frenzy of emotion, having witnessed the conquest. Beldar uses the staff to push the corpse into the deep fry magma pit, hauling out some of the instantly charred and crackling remnants of the Garthok. He then twists off its head and exits the maze, throne, platform, Highmaster, and Seedling. Seedling is sitting on his sacrificial altar, flanked by 2 female cone priestesses, each one holding at rest a sharp scimitar. He sits with his legs crossed, smoking a cigarette, marveling at the spectacle.
This is a first for me.
Beldar steps forward to the throne and ceremoniously hands the Garthok head to the Highmaster, who holds the head up for the crowd's approval and then bites into the flesh with abandon, to the howling delight of all the attendants except for Marlax. He is jealous and bummed out. The arena stage, all the young loincloth cones begin eating the Garthok and drinking from silver, crystal, and gold flagons. Anyway, the throne platform. The Highmaster motions Beldar to ascend and approach him, tearing off an ear and handing it to the victor.
The day is yours, Beldar. You are the only cone to have twice tackled the greased Garthok, so 2 requests may be granted.
And I have 2 such wishes. 1, that I, my family, and our slave Seedling be permitted to spearhead an attack on the planet Earth.
Granted. Next.
That my young one Connie be granted the right to refuse her designated genotomate.
Abs. It is contrary to the writings of Lagrath the Lawgiver.
Beldar seizes the head of the Garthok from the lap of the Highmaster and holds it aloft for the crowd's approval. They go wild. Prymaat and Connie proud of him. Rard and Laarta are humbled. The Highmaster, he accedes.
Very well. Very well. Granted.
The crowd is still cheering. Exterior space, approaching Earth orbit, a fleet of black gun cruisers. Night. 20 ominous-looking cone battle saucers bristling with laser cannons. The lead star cruiser, it strobes magnificently. 3 conical silhouettes can be seen through the glowing red viewing panels in the ship's top cone. Interior lead star cruiser night. Beldar, Prymaat, and Connie are dressed in the robes of the Fuel Underlord's family. Seedling wears a cone uniform but is still connected to the electronic lead with the remote. They are stern-faced, menacing as in the first time they came to Earth in the opening segment. Conquerors, serious.
Attention all battle unit commanders. Entering outer atmosphere of target planet. Hold your global ranging positions and array Mestonian cannon. Stand ready for my attack order.
Exterior the fleet, night. All the battle saucers atop, stop and hold as Beldar's vessel streaks earthward. Excuse me. Give me one second. Various battle saucers, guns swivel, lights focus, a phalanx array joins up and hovers menacingly, ready to fly down in formation and strike. Interior Conehead family star cruiser night.
Coordinates, please.
Execute a Larksat and then take a left at that Jersey Turnpike.
She is concentrating on the map. They exchange a look. This time it's going to be different. Exterior New Jersey refinery stacks wide. Night. Winking aircraft warning strobes, red and white lights of all kinds blink from atop the stacks and flaming towers. Planes come and go, landing and taking off in the background at Newark Airport. Oof. A shape comes into the top of frame. It is the strobing, winking star cruiser, but amidst all of the moving objects and blinking structures of the refinery and nearby airport, exterior a marsh area behind a refinery night. The star cruiser sets down in the swamp grass and bulrushes. Interior star cruiser night.
Landing enabled. Arm cannon. Verify global targets. Hold fire until my order.
He looks at Connie, then at Prymaat, who returns a serious, committed look. Connie looks very sad. Now he addresses the fleet again.
Warning! Warning! Danger to battle fleet! Presence of enemy laser gun implements and planet and satellites detected. Abort attack! Abort attack! Have abandoned command ship. I'm programming vessel to return to your flight grid. Proceed to secondary target in Proscenium chain. Warning! Abort! Abort!
Connie and Prymaat are shocked. Beldar puts his arm around Connie.
Your happiness and positive perception of me is vital to my existence. Besides, it is not often a father can give the world to his child.
I love you, Daddy.
Exterior battle fleet night. The saucers break off and peel away like frightened water spiders. Interior the command star cruiser night. He programs the ship and the engines begin to hum with reenacted life.
Quickly, my family! Egress! Seedling, run!
He pushes a button on the remote and Seedling runs stiffly after Connie and Prymaat. Beldar makes several more adjustments and follows. Exterior, the Star Cruiser door night. Coneheads exit with Seedling. The saucer door closes. It lifts off as they flee from underneath the power blast.
I make this proposal to you, Earth creature. Your life in return for a green card.
Agreed. Provided that you can demonstrate a special job skill that a U.S. citizen does not possess.
That should represent no challenge to me.
Then I have no objection.
Good. Move.
Beldar tightens the electronic collar and marches Seedling off. Ronnie Guestsetter is waiting on a dirt road next to the swamp with their old convertible running. The Coneheads join him.
Hi, Connie.
He hugs her and kisses her cone.
Oh, Ronnie, I thought I'd never see you again.
Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Conehead. Welcome home.
Thank you for picking us up, Ronnie.
No problem. I got your deep space gram a couple of days ago. Everybody in?
Come, James.
They drive off. Exterior Conehead Street night. The convertible travels past the Brocks and Farbers as we pan with car. No, girl, I'm not talking to you. Sorry, Siri got all excited. As Ronnie turns into the driveway, the headlights illuminate a completely overgrown yard, broken garage door, dried up gardens, unpainted walls, worn roof. Weeds poke through cracks in the driveway. Clearly, the Farbers have paid no attention to the maintenance promises they made. Ronnie pulls into the driveway. Beldar and Prymaat get out.
Look at this. No one's done anything since we've been gone.
Oh, my precious flower beds. They are completely dead. My delphiniums, my phlox. I worked so hard on those.
Nibs! Nibs!
Connie and Ronnie kiss as in the background, Beldar stomps towards the Farber's house with Seedling following on the leash.
Larry! Larry, I summon you! Nibs! Nibs!
Camera pans up into the clear night sky, pushed slowly in on the full moon. Seen for the first time since the ore cruiser bumped it with this bumped it? Anyway, it is now has a permanent chunk and debris-filled Saturn-like rings all around it. Barp mib. The end.
Bark meb, bark meb, bark meb.
Barp mib.
And
Barf
thank
meb.
you all so much for joining for what was it's just a really fun read. This one was a blast. Hope y'all enjoyed it, and we'll see you at the next one.